the notes up. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Let's get rid of that. Let's get the notes up. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
So,
everybody, welcome to Tales of Xillia.
So the very first input in this is going to be choosing Milla instead of Jude because Milla is way faster. We will explain the reasons for this as we go along, but just trust us, it's faster. Actually, trust OC. He's run Jude's side.
Yeah, like right from the get-go, Jude has to go through several more cutscenes and has to walk to where even Milla starts off at. So Milla is essentially at a head start.
Always forget about that damn text box. So you'll notice, I guess, first thing, there are cutscene skips, but they definitely take a few inputs to do a piece. I have to hit start, down, X, and X again. As opposed to like games like Berseria where it's
R1 plus X. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
That said, it's something that's always a constant fear in every runner of this game's hearts, is because you kind of get used to that particular way of cutscene skipping. Sometimes you may have once have accidentally went to title screen rather than skip a cutscene.
Oh yes, oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I definitely
got a
tried
little
to save
bit...
the game a bunch because I kept trying to just spam cutscenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, you got a little bit of bad luck there. Right now, Milla's really overpowered. She is effectively almost endgame quality, but that'll change quickly because she gets a serious case of Samus Aran syndrome.
Yep.
Yep, she's gonna get Metroid primed, and yeah. So I'm Wandering Mind, and I've run this game. Well, I haven't run in a while, but I'm here to hang out with all you cool people.
Yeah, sorry.
And I'm Interfere again.
I'm
I play the game casually and just for additional stuff.
I'm Freddeh, I'm the runner of this. I'll be your runner for today.
Yeah.
So
I'm so
hopefully
glad
I'll do this correctly.
I was supposed to run this, but things came up, so Freddie's doing it, and you're gonna be in for a pretty fun run.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have fun.
Yeah.
One thing to note right here from the get-go, the fact that Jude has if you're playing as Jude's side, he actually has a pre-fight with Agria here, and then Milla joins in and basically cleans up.
Does that
here,
fight again?
You skip another fight here. Again, there's just so many little differences between the two characters, and in the end, you just do way more boss fights, way more cutscenes, and you have two fights in particular which are just hugely slower.
Also, I'm so glad you got the tutorial skip. That is, you know, like you just have to go down, hit no, but it can be pretty annoying, and you waste a few minutes, and yeah. But I'm glad you got the tutorial skip.
Yeah, there's a long tutorial to do this thing that I'm doing right now, basically.
Yeah, for those who are not familiar how leveling up in this particular Tales of game works, Xillia has a system that is very reminiscent of Final Fantasy X Stair Grid system, where when you level up in this game, you gain points that you can use to allocate to a special node on a spiderweb-like grid.
Well, I got the random encounter out of the way pretty early this time, so no problem. No worries about having to do that anymore. One of these days I will get a actual full run with no random encounters. Avoiding encounters in this game is relatively easy. Things can't really catch up to you. Some things like will see you from later, and there's some really tight spots where it's hard that you have to finagle around, but in general, it's pretty easy to dodge stuff in this game. That said, you will usually, in most runs, accidentally get into at least one encounter.
Yeah, there's just some cases where the enemy will just be in the wrong place and just getting around them is impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, enemies' behavior on the overworld map is unlike newer Tales games where they start seeing you, wait a second, and then they run straight at you. But they run straight a line, they don't curve.
It's okay.
Like in Tales of Xillia, for example. So you can basically just step aside and let them run past you and then move on. So it's fairly easy to dodge them, but special cases as always.
Yeah, there's definitely some areas in this game which just has such narrow corridors to get that getting around them is difficult. And then there's the aforementioned like vines and stuff that you have to climb up on, and sometimes just getting lined up to climb up on these objects can be really picky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's also pretty annoying.
Point out a particular area when we get there.
Yep. Yeah, like, I mean, a lot of us have had at least one encounter where we could not just get to climb on a vine even though we were right next to it, and especially in certain areas, getting the encounters can be very punishing because it may take a while to get away, and keeping all your party members at full health and making sure you don't waste items is really important, especially in Chapter 1. This game is broken up into 4 parts, so Chapter 1, which is kind of like the early game, Chapters 2 and 3, which make up the middle, and then Chapter 4 is pretty much like
the final dungeon. That's it.
Yeah. I don't even remember the chapter splits in this.
Yeah.
The main thing to note is that early on is arguably the hardest part of the game. You're the weakest. The game doesn't throw a lot of experience giving bosses at you. And they really expect you to, like, fight normal enemies, grind, buy gear. All these things we are going to ignore. Except for one thing, and that is food. And food is going to be one of the most broken things about this game. And trust me, there is a lot of things broken about this game.
Yeah, so you'll see some enemies have that kind of angry, wispy, whatever you want to call it, on their heads. Basically means that they're like high aggro. They'll basically start seeing you from further away, but it doesn't make them any faster. So you can still dodge them as long as you don't let them run into you, basically.
Yeah, this team actually just increases their reaction speed to your own movement. Actually, you may have saw it with the wolf.
Yeah.
Normally enemies just straight up run, but if they have this steam up the head, they actually shorten the distance they run, so they can turn faster.
The one thing also we just kind of went over in the tutorial for was the linking system, and the linking system is essentially what makes Xillia so much more different than every other Tales of game, where 2 characters can link together, kind of similar to like the last one with Zestria, but here it's more you can link with any character in your party, and the AI-controlled partner that you're linked to will act differently accordingly to who they are. Like, Alvin has a unique a move that breaks guard, and that is an amazing thing for him to have.
That was a good fight.
I know, isn't that great?
The other thing is, of course, is you got this nice little limit gauge on the left-hand side of the battle there. Every section that you fill up, you can perform a linked art with your partner, and if you fill it up completely, you can perform a number of chain linked arts together in order until the gauge runs out. These linked arts are really powerful, and I really wish we could take advantage of them more, but turns out linked arts aren't as powerful as we need them to be.
Well, we'll get there later. Don't worry about it. For now, linked arts are actually how we're going to be killing the first few bosses.
So,
that kind of was a boss. I don't really usually count it as one, but
whatever.
Nah.
It's one of 2 side quests. This one is one that we're forced to do, and we will be doing one short side quest later. It's just talking to people mostly. We'll point it out, but it'll be hard to miss otherwise. We do that for a item for the upgrade system, the shop upgrade system.
Do you want to explain shops, Devin?
Oh yeah, so shops, the way that they work is that, so rather than like going to each town like where traditionally they would have like a shopkeeper, there are different people just scattered throughout the game, and you start out with like a few items, and the way that you get more items is by upgrading the shop. So like either donating gold or usually you give certain materials, and It's been a while since I've touched this game, but basically, certain shops need have certain materials where they have a multiplier, and you want to really manage your materials, and you can level up your shops. So the higher level your shops, the more items you get, and the cheaper they are. And very random. So usually, there are certain shops where you have a certain kind, and you'll just. I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm sorry.
It's all right. But the gist of it is, you upgrade your shops, you can get more items to buy, and the whole multiplier thing is actually kind of interesting because you can either get a double experience reward on materials that's thrown in, or even a triple XP reward for certain materials. Those are completely random which ones will be, and I really wish we could influence that RNG to make it a certain material type, because we want to upgrade our food shop as high as we possibly can, and man, it'd be really nice if we could get that food shop upgraded with a 3 times with a certain material type. I forget which it's called, but the metal. It'd be really
fluid thing, the special material items in the last category, I think, are the ones that have the highest value.
Yeah, and generally they're really, really good.
We do have it routed so that we don't need to have any of the multipliers, though if I do get certain ones at certain points, then I should be able to skip a chest or something down the road.
Yeah, and if it's really good, he could even, say, any extra materials that he would otherwise use to upgrade the shop, he'll just upgrade it in the weapon shop and get Milla a better weapon. Because we don't normally upgrade armor shop or the weapon shop that much, so getting a better weapon is optimal, but it isn't required.
So, when do you guys want to go through the characters
Ooh,
that we're coming across? We have 3 at the moment.
Yeah.
Talk to me the 4th.
Spoiler. I'll go off in explaining that one of the cool things about Xillia that introduced was that each character in this game plays extremely unique from each other. Jude, for example, is kind of healer / brawler type character, where he has this very unique ability called
Snap Pivot.
Huh?
Snap Pivot?
Snap Pivot, yes, that was the... Yeah. The Snap Pivot is amazing. If you backdash during a certain attack, you will instantly get behind the enemy, and almost every attack in this game you can do this, and it's incredibly satisfying to pull off. And it's my #1 reason why I never played as anybody else in this game. But don't let that discourage you from the other characters, because Milla, for example, plays very similar to your typical Magic Knight. The idea is all her spells can be either used as long-range arts or short-range quick arts. So that gives her a lot of variety. And then there's Alvin, who's currently in the party. Alvin is kind of like Carol from Vesperia, where he's kind of a slow, heavy hitter with a focus on charge attacks. Sadly, you won't be seeing a whole lot of Alvin in this run.
Yeah, each character has a specific characteristic, and they are utilizing it at a very interesting way. Milla, for example, can combo actually pretty well with her spells, because she has, later on, if I remember correctly, different forms of her spells, actually.
Yeah, and they're very tricky to pull off in a combo because they're contact sensitive. The other characters in the game, will definitely get to them when we get to them, because the main thing we're going to take advantage of for the first upcoming boss fight is Jude. In fact, one of the things we first get is a weapon for Jude, just to increase his damage output. He's mostly going to be our main attacker for the next 2 boss fights.
Yeah, like I said, you can play any character you want, really. It's all about style. I played through as Milla the whole game, so... It took me a bit to learn some of Jude's mechanics, because I barely touched him. I didn't even have him in my party, I think, most of the time. Getting some gold from this thing.
Can you do it? Come on, I believe it.
That was tight.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I was also a Jude player because I'm having a very love towards martial arts, and it was my choice basically because he is kind of like a martial arts guy, monk style.
Yeah, he's also like your typical Tales main character. Almost every Tales game that you play, like the main character is like a lockdown. He attacks fast, hits hard, and it is all about just high combos, right? That's Jude in a nutshell.
It looks like we can climb up here.
Well, after you, milady.
But one of Jude's abilities you probably didn't take advantage of in your casual playthrough was a move he calls Focus.
Focus. Focus.
Oh.
Focus.
Yeah.
Focus. Just make sure,
Yeah,
you guys, when you're watching this, that you focus. Because if you don't, then you'll have major issues with watching.
Turns
it,
out,
I guess.
if you hold L1 and hit the attack button, Jude will kind of do like this, kind of like he turns around on his back foot and slams his elbows into the enemy. And you can do this repeatedly and do it instead of doing your normal attack. For whatever reason, this focus attack has a much higher stun rate and hits decently hard. But more importantly, we want the stun rate.
Okay,
That's
boss
also
fight number
a
1.
move that you can chain pretty well because it has a quick animation, and the animation log afterwards is actually fairly low.
Yeah. I think that also the big part to it is if you pay attention to every time he hits with a focus attack, the little meter on the left-hand side goes up pretty fast. And like we said before, how Link arts are exceptionally powerful in the early game. That's really important to be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, so right now, we're fighting our first real boss of the game, Greater Demon. And basically kind of you start using Link darts, and you really want to try to do well on this fight because that means you'll probably have more items, and that's more items you can have going into the next boss fight. So there's a bit of an incentive to just do as well as you can, but...
Yeah, for the most part, one of the things you're going to see him try to do is use his soaring vortex move in order to go through the enemy right as he's doing the aqua laser to completely avoid it. If he can't do it, just guard. It's better than taking the full damage in the face. Other than that, this boss is fairly tame. I mean, it's the first real boss of the game, so it's nothing too crazy. He can be a little trolly though if he uses this one attack. I forget what to describe it, but I remember there was one move in particular that was really nasty.
Oh, so one thing, so you may have seen like a blue exclamation point. So there's a mechanic, it's called Iron Well, and it's kind of the game's way of keeping you from spamming moves. So if you keep on using moves, the boss is going to be using an unblockable move, and it's kind of a way for punishing you for doing like close range attacks constantly. And kind of the thing about this game is that you can kind of get around it with long range attacks, which is really going to come into play in a bit, but...
For now, we're stuck with this party, and
136.
that's how you fight it.
Yeah.
It was alright.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I gained time on my PB.
I think the one thing that people also don't take into account when writing this is there is like an invisible bonus experience points you do get for actual good battle performance. Particularly, I think it relates to the combos.
Yeah, I think it's the same system as in Xillia 2, where your highest combo you did in a fight gives you, at the end of the fight, additional bonus experience based on that amount. And I think in Xillia 1 it's actually not as important.
No, it really isn't.
Xillia 2. But it's still a cool way to kind of like see, oh yeah, I did this 55 combo and I got, I don't know how many XP, but you got more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like a little rewarding.
It's a special
Yeah, most of the reason why experience points in Tales of Xillia is not a huge concern is food. Food in every Tales of game is either a minor component to the game or an extremely powerful component to the game. And in this game, it's extremely powerful.
Yeah, if you may have noticed when I did the shopping after Hamil, that first time we went to, I bought a soda rice, which gives 30% XP, I believe. 30 or 40, one of the two. We'll be getting food later on that grants even more, and eventually 100% more. So you're basically doubling your XP from boss fights.
Yeah. We have a food route that we follow throughout the run, and in order to really get the most out of it, you really want to have all your party members alive by the end of boss fights. This can be easier said than done, but it is really important. And if one of them dies, it can throw you off.
Some more than the others. Like,
yeah,
you can get away with some of them being, like, other people being dead, but if Milla dies during fights, which tends to always be the person that dies for some reason for me, then you have some issues, a little bit of issues later on.
Milla, or Milla in particular, since she's the main character, whatever level she is, if party members join later on, that's the level they are going to be, so it's really imperative Milla gets every drop of experience.
Another thing that I've spent a lot of time picking up is some extra chests. Like you saw, I picked up some chests for some healing items and such. Money is a little bit tight in this part of the run, just because I need a lot of healing items for the next two bosses.
Yeah.
Especially mana healing items.
I think the healing items in the early part, particularly when it gets up against the next boss, is going to be especially important. The next boss is ruthless, and it's kind of the, a way of saying, hey, you're interested in running this game? Go ahead and just try and beat Zhao with the speedrun strats, and if you can do that, congratulations, you can speedrun the game.
Yeah, and also more important, just make sure you try fighting Zhao with Jude and Milla at level 4, Alvin at, I think, level 6, and then Elise at level 7. And that's basically what the speedrun does. And that's kind of like the initiation for getting into Xillia speedrunning. So if you make it past that, you're making a long way towards learning this game.
I will hopefully make it look easy.
Yeah,
we'll give that about a 50-50 chance of that actually happening.
We will be definitely going into exactly why Zhao is a scary fight a little later, because we still got a little bit of ways before we get to Zhao.
It's the next boss fight. May as well talk about it.
Yeah.
This is just a long, boring run, honestly.
let's get him out of the way.
Alright, Zhao. He's a real... when you actually see him, do not be fooled by his large appearance. This guy is fast.
Yeah.
He hits extremely hard, and he starts with the battle with 2 wolves, I believe, and throughout the fight, he can also summon more additional wolves and even birds.
Yeah.
And it's really sucks if he summons the birds too, because the birds, for whatever reason, have more HP.
And are more annoying.
And they're harder to hit. I mean, falcons are harder to hit than wolves. I mean, have you ever tried punching a bird? I mean, I can't say I have, but preferably you want to have wolves. And Zhao can whistle at any moment. Like, he can whistle several times in a row. That is the thing that can happen. So it's a good amount of randomness. So we're just hoping for good luck on this fight.
Yeah, and on top of that, he also has several really wide sweeping attacks that is really important to take advantage of the snap pivot by Jude to dodge. If you get really good with the snap pivot, you can avoid almost every single attack, but the one that is extremely important that you never let him connect with is this, I call it the haymaker, because it's just an out-of-nowhere, straightforward punch that is extremely fast.
He tends to do it after he stuns you. It's annoying. Yeah, it hits all hard.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult to actually get out of the way of it in time. The main strategy with the fight is right from the get-go. You're basically gonna hope that Elise and Milla are going to draw Zhao's attention away from Alvin and Jude. Alvin and Jude, his first task is to get rid of the wolves, because those wolves are just going to make the entire fight way more risky, more complicated, because they're going to interrupt your attacks while you're trying to deal with Zhao. And nothing sucks worse than, you're trying to block Zhao's attack, then getting hit from behind, which breaks you out of your guard, and then Zhao haymakers you in the face.
Yeah, it's not fun. So I now have quick travel, thank goodness, so I don't have to actually walk the whole way back. So basically we're backtracking back to that dock where we started.
Yeah, this is when we get Elise to join the party.
Yep.
Well, not officially, but...
We skipped a few cutscenes introducing her, but now Elise actually is traveling with us. The thing with the doll there.
Yeah, she's
that's
currently a
Elise.
guest character.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, but right now, Elise is a tiny little girl. You think, I've this before. Tiny little girl with a whole lot of magical power that will possibly be one of the most powerful characters in the game. Am I right?
That totally makes sense. Sounds like no other Tales game ever.
Easy.
Cough.
She's she actually has a really cool kind of like stance mechanic in this game where there's TPO on and TPO off. With TPO on, her spells get stronger and they behave differently. And if TPO's off, her physical attacks get stronger and her physical arts have additional effects.
Spoiler, he's going to be on pretty much the entire time.
Yes.
I forget what
Elise is
wizard,
a fairly interesting character when it comes to the mechanics of her spells and her game mechanics. You can have a lot of fun with her, switching around, trying to come up with combos and stuff. I remember I saw someone messing around with her and he was actually pretty good. And it looked really cool how he handled her.
Yeah, from what I understand, with high-level play with Elise, she is basically invincible.
So I was starting the second side quest that I was talking about earlier. It was just, you have to talk to sailors, then you have to talk to some gal in the next town we'll be at, and then go back to the first Sea Haven to finish it.
Yeah, this is a little... I forget the exact nature of the side quest. I think it has something to do with, like... they're trying to find Tipo's family, where he comes from. Then they hear about that there's, like, these toys that look like Tipo being sold, and they talk and everything. It's really cool. And you hear that from the sailors. Then you go to the next town, then you find out, oh, there is this thing, and it's back at the previous harbor you were, and you'll find the merchant that's selling them, but he's just a fraud, a fake. He's just using ventriloquism to make it seem like they talk. And that's pretty much it. There's no, like, fighting or choices you have to make. It's literally, go here, talk to this person, go here, talk to this person, then you get the thing. But the thing is totally worth it.
So this thing kind of introduces Elise to the party.
Our wounds are healed.
Did Elise do this?
Stay back. Stay
Right now, she's basically just a hero. She doesn't have any really good attacking spells, and her physical arts are pretty trash at the moment. That said, later on, that'll change.
A grand victory!
That was amazing, Elise.
That was exhausting.
Yeah, Elise has a lot of character progression throughout the game. If you played the game casually, you probably notice her change in character and behavior and all that based on the storyline.
She's definitely one of the more interesting Tales characters I've ever seen.
Indeed. And it transitions to her game style as well. I mean, she's starting up like a small girl, as probably most people are, and excels pretty heavily.
We can squeeze through here.
Better make sure none of us get our clothes stuck.
Shoot. I thought I could make it
Oh,
through
yeah,
there.
got a Bakura there. That's good.
Flames come forth.
Nope.
Bakuras are special enemies in the game, like many other games have special enemies that give like a high amount of experience and stuff like that, but their behavior is very annoying because they run away from you, and they can block entrances. And for me,
Yeah.
it always happens at this particular spot in the middle where you jump down and jump down again. That enemy for me is always a Bakura, always.
Yeah.
So
I
annoying.
mean, it didn't look too punishing, but that's just the nature of this area. But
I could have dodged that when I just got greedy and didn't.
oh yeah, so what type of enemies you get are they're randomly generated, and wolves are just annoying, and
This spot is one of the more annoying parts because you can't really make it through there and get past an enemy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the fact
Come on.
that they could see you crawling underneath the brush and stuff like that.
I don't know why the wolf lost vision of me there, but...
who knows? Oh,
Oh, we'll save that for later, Ghoul. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. That was not expected.
Don't let your
Oh,
guard down.
good run.
You're going too fast, or slow down.
Good job, Elise. You got this.
Oh, back encounter. Oh.
oh, ow.
So yeah, you can get back attacked in this game, as you will notice. They surround you, it takes longer for the escape to go off.
Yeah. Oh,
Another one right off the bat.
that could have been worse, but
It
it's
was
just
fine.
unfortunate.
Yeah. I wish there was a faster command to kind of just like tell your party members to like, don't fight these guys, get away.
Okay.
Save your HP.
I disagree with that one. That one I completely disagree with.
Well, this isn't
Oh yeah, so you see these mushrooms, you want to avoid them. They do damage to your party, and they're
Yeah,
very
there was a
easy.
cutscene explaining this. So I didn't-
Exactly. Ooh.
I said I disagree with that one.
Alright. Right up next is Zhao, so get ready for that.
Yep,
Let's...
it's gonna be a thing.
Let the fun begin.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, items...
Yeah, please forgive Freddie if he doesn't talk much during this fight. This fight does actually require a lot of focus.
Okay,
Wow.
now we're just beating a dead horse here.
I'll be here for the entire run, folks.
So this is the last time we'll really be doing the little more manually like this. You can have it auto-complete, and I actually link these in a specific way to only unlock one thing at a time, or everything at the same time, so as to not have to do this whole animation and screen multiple times. If that made sense at all.
Yeah, well, I don't know about you, Freddie, but I still take a little precaution to make sure I get level restore for the. that
Well,
one
other
fight.
there is the one, yeah. But
Yeah,
that's the last.
not having
full-
level restore there sucks.
Okay, here we go. Let's do this.
Good luck. You got this.
to come with me.
No! I don't want to!
Please listen to me.
Well, you're one to talk.
Nice.
I'll have to agree with Gruel with Zhao. Zhao is without a doubt the hardest fight to actually do. But it's not the most unfair. Like I consider just this fight hard, but not unfair.
I think this fight's unfair.
Yeah. Chances are you're probably gonna reset a lot over this fight. I mean, it's not uncommon to like maybe have like one game or so and then decide to continue, but you can lose a lot of time here, and it's really unfortunate because the run's kind of slow to pick up, and you have to do a lot of running back and forth. Not a lot of action going on, and then you get to this fight, and
Yeah, to be fair, that's mostly just like the first part of the game. I find that the game really picks up right after Nameless Anomaly. And that's when I feel like the game suddenly just starts like throwing boss after boss after boss.
one stacked.
Okay. The wolf part is usually the most sketchy part of this. That's bad. That's very bad.
One thing you're really hoping here with the Zhao fight is you want Zhao to block, and then you want Alvin to do his guard cancel, or guard break, I should say. Guard breaking is considered a team action. When you successfully pull off a team action, the gauge on the left gets a huge boost.
And of note, we are playing on normal mode, which is pretty much standard for Tails runs. Yeah, this fight is just brutal on normal.
If I remember correctly, if you guard break with Alvin, it's also guaranteed to stun
Yeah, that's it.
for a short amount of time, so you have that as well. So you have time to actually set up the combo. Which can help in this fight particularly.
I see, summon something.
What do you summon? Wolf, bird.
Oh boy, the jerk birds.
Yeah, you know you got a real buff in your hands, but you can summon jerk birds.
What? Oh, no, don't go for that.
Come on, you nearly got him.
Come on. I believe.
I think I'm out of life bottles, though. Yep. Rip.
Oh no. Whoops.
Too bad of a start. He decided to kill Milla right away and come after Jude, which is always a bad start. And then just super unluckiness. So yeah, that's Joe for you.
Yep, you think it's going well, and then you blink and everyone's dead. Yep. Really unfortunate when you want to race this game and just Zhao can just make or break a race that early on. Unless other things happen, but that's just speaking from my own experience.
Zhao without a doubt is one of the biggest reasons at that point.
Yeah.
That said, it is perfectly reasonable to die once in this fight, once or twice even, just because he is that ruthless. And you gotta also consider if he summons a bunch of wolves and birds all the time, each wolf and bird almost packs on like an extra 30 seconds per enemy summon.
But your reward for getting through this fight is that you get Rowan, and talk about Rowan a bit, or should I save that for later?
Yeah, save it. Save
All
it.
right.
We want to get past this guy. This is the insurmountable wall at the moment.
Yeah, you're
They
right.
just have to be.
He's the gatekeeper.
Yeah. Right now I'm having my own little flashbacks of this fight just because it was easily the one boss I practiced more than any other boss.
And even if you practice it, you can't still screw.
Yeah, the Iron Will mechanic in this game is... I understand what they were trying to do with trying to make sure that you couldn't, like, get infinite off it as easily or at all in this case. I don't think it's the most broken mechanic in the game in terms of, like, I see what you did there, it didn't work. Don't do it again. But...
That was a lot better.
Yeah.
Guys, ain't that right?
It's like, you can practice all you want, and then, I mean, even then, it's like, if Zhao wants to be a jerk, he can be a jerk. I can say, I think I also practiced most on this fight, too. And that was pretty nice.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a reason that boss is the kind of a gatekeeper for most people learning this run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really crazy how well this fight can go in terms of fight time. Like, you got 2:25 there. I've seen runs where you got where it was like 1 minute and 30, and that's like insane, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good. I don't know how people do that usually. I mean, I kind of get it, but the way I do this fight, that's about ideal. I've done like a 2:15 before, but
All right.
anyway, side quests go.
Yeah, we're gonna do the side quest to get the geode, I believe it.
Ecor. Yeah.
Ecor, yeah.
Not to be confused with Ecor, but Ecor.
Yeah.
Ecor.
The next boss is gonna require a little bit of setup. It's a very TP heavy fight. You're gonna be casting a lot of spells, and as such, you're gonna want a lot of orange gels.
Wow, what a huge city! I've never been anywhere like this before. Hey,
But we're still at the problem where we don't have a lot of money.
No one's ever asked me over for
Yeah, I just used all the money I got from Zhao to buy some more mana regen. So you're definitely gonna need it for the next fight.
So
Yeah,
we're
from now
gonna get.
on.
Yeah.
I guess
ahead.
the next boss. This next fight is a real
From
fight.
now on, crowd controlling the fight is very important, and with Rowan, it's actually possible because we can have an all-caster spell party. So instead of focusing, we're doing stuff that is a little bit more hot.
Yeah,
I see.
on fire.
I see
Burn
the
it.
mutton talk has already started.
I want some mutton now.
I am still waiting for the day when the next Tales game actually includes fresh mutton as a cookable item. I want this.
I will have no
I really want
I
fresh mutton.
find the
Come on.
fresh muttons guy actually pretty cruel, I have to say. But
That guy
that's
gets around,
something
I mean.
from the next game, actually. Yeah, he actually gave me a moment where I was like, okay, I'm gonna punch you now.
Alright, so
The
Rowan.
funny part is later on when you get to the to Olympius, he's still there. He's everywhere, dude. You can't escape not having fresh mutton.
There's only fresh button. Fresh button. Fresh button. It's
Yeah.
too late.
But the next character joining our party is Rowan, and Rowan is without a doubt one of the most broken mages ever. We're talking in a series known for some really broken mage-type characters. Rowan is easily one of the highest
Cabbage
characters.
salmon. My cabbages!
Yeah, Rowan is basically a reward for getting through the Zhao fight, and then more.
Yeah. Rowan, his first spell, Fire, is just a single-use fireball. But Rowan has this natural ability called art tuning, where certain arts he uses will get an additional effect by just usually using another context-sensitive action, like being circle again, or mashing circle, or etc., etc. In the case of Fireball, you can mash circle to cast 3 additional fireballs after the first one, and they all have the same strength as the first fireball. And for whatever reason, this single spell is so strong, no matter what level.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you start with Fireball and you will use Fireball for this run, the entire game.
Additionally, Fireball has
Mostly.
a chance to inflict the burning status effect on every type of enemy in this game.
Including the final
Every-
boss.
In the final boss, even the bosses that are essentially literally already on fire, you can
Yes.
burn
In fact, well, I guess we'll get to that later.
them. Because
Yeah, does
Spoiler
this
alert.
game work fairly different from most other games I have seen, and burn is probably the most damaging dodge that's around everywhere.
Yeah. Just getting one burn on a boss will make a huge difference. It's just a matter
Yep.
of when it wants to happen. That's another story.
yeah, in fact, that's honestly when we're doing most of the boss fights in this game, we're constantly looking at the character. We're like, is he burning yet?
It's one of the
Yeah.
biggest RNG factors of this run, actually, is if you get a burn or not on most fights.
And the way that burn works is that it works on a fraction of health, so that can do a lot of damage. It got changed and nerfed in the second game, but in the first game it was just stupidly powerful and broken.
Yeah, they made
Even
several.
Xillia 2 is pretty strong still.
But
It is, but it's not as bad as it was to be. I know they made several changes to balancing out things in Xillia 2, like the experience food items are extremely rare and hard to get in Xillia 2.
yeah. So this area, it can be very easy to get encounters, and you really don't want to get in them here because the game just really punishes you. You want to try to keep all your items, especially your orange gels, and
Well, your orange gels is your lifeblood for the next fight. If you do not have orange gels, you cannot finish that fight.
yeah. Or you
elixirs,
pick up-
but yeah.
But elixirs are more like emergency, and you try not to use them if you can.
Yeah, one thing that you just see now is, and that got actually changed in Xillia 2 and moving on, this area, is you can not hold your X button and automatically climb up vines or edges and stuff like that. You actually have to mash the button, and the problem with that is you actually also have to hit the point perfectly.
Yeah,
so it can
'cause
actually happen with your mashing that you actually skip over the point where you actually climb up, and an enemy can actually get you. In Xillia 2 and moving on, you can
Like
just
that.
hold and find the right spot and you directly move on, because you have no hitbox when you are climbing, so enemies can catch you as long as you're directly in the animation of climbing up and stuff like that. So this is one particular reason why this area is pretty annoying to go through.
Yeah.
This is a spot where
Going, huh?
where you will usually get into an encounter.
there?
Yeah.
Be fine.
We haven't seen any turtles so far, but those guys have the largest hitbox, and especially for climbing up, especially in the last area, and you have a turtle, it's like, do you want to get into a counter? Do you want to wait for it? And but it's just thankfully
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Keep going.
we didn't have it happen this time, but it is a thing. This game likes to do things, and we're almost at the boss fight, Nameless Anomaly.
Yeah, Nameless Anomaly is going to be our first case of this is what a majority of boss fights are going to end up looking like. We're going to have Milla just spam Splash, and Splash is purely just because it's a fairly cheap skill for her to use. It has a fairly long duration, and it hits multiple times. And it's just good for just locking down an enemy, keeping
No, don't. I disagree with that.
Oh, yeah. And basically we assign shortcuts to have other characters use their spells, and you try to hit all of them, so you use Fireball and you rotate the right stick, which is what you assign your shortcuts to, and that's how the boss fights are more or less going to go.
Yeah, sadly, Elise can't do much to help here. She doesn't have any of her useful spells yet. So it's all pretty much on Milla and Rowan to actually kill this boss. We really hope that the boss just kind of gets locked down, stays level, doesn't move around that much, because the homing properties on the Fireball currently at the moment will go vertically, but horizontally, or
Quite the nuisance.
That was scary.
horizontally, the balls don't really change their trajectory too much. It's really important that Rowan connects with each and every attack.
Got this. Yeah, that was actually a good fight.
Considering how it started, I will take it.
Yeah, like, getting burn stats when he did, that helps a ton, and
Ooh, sub 1 minute. That is nice.
dang, nice. But that guy didn't get any attacks off, so good fight. He
Barely.
did good. But
You
well,
just
close
moved toward
enough.
my party at the very start, which is not ideal.
Yeah.
Also on the point of Rowan, a way to master him actually is that, in Xillia you don't have really spell cancelling, but the thing is, if you defend by the starting animation of the fourth fireball, if you guard for a split second, you can actually recast a little bit faster, so the downtime in between your chains is actually shortened.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
therefore you can do a little bit more damage.
It's
just
very
a
important
minor
for that
way
fight,
of
actually.
mastering.
Yeah,
That fight
it's got a
in
rhythm
particular.
to it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, then you will be having issues with him breaking out of the stun lock a bit and move towards you a lot faster. So, yeah.
Alright, sadly, Rowan is not going to be in the next couple fights, so say goodbye to Rowan and his fireballs.
Bye, Rowan.
Instead, we have another period where the game actually throws you a number of fairly challenging fights. One of which is going to be just a normal guard. Just a guard with a shield that likes to block and waste time.
Oh, the part in the jail?
Also, this is a funny animation.
I know which one you're doing.
Blocking.
Yep.
Yeah, if any of you ever saw our 4-player co-op run at this at the first RPG limit break,
Might have had a little bit of fun.
we might have had a little bit of fun.
So this is the first time since the very start of the game that the two paths diverge for Milla and Jude. So if you were playing Jude's side, you get a different part here. One of the reasons Milla's side is so much faster is because this part lets you has a couple catch-up fights basically, because you're meant to not fight nearly as much on this side. And I have to do menuing so you guys can finish the explanation.
Yeah, basically Jude has a couple fights, but they basically give normal amounts of experience points. For whatever reason, these two single guards that Milla has to fight give boss level equivalent of experience points. And as such, we're going to take advantage of this by buying some food, because, you know, isn't it so nice that they locked up this convenient shopkeeper alongside us? I appreciate it.
Oh, definitely.
So,
I'm all for it.
we're gonna upgrade the food shop, and we're gonna get the next best food item, which is gonna give us 60 bonus experience points from the next two fights.
Yeah.
And this is going to get Milla essentially 6 levels in just 2 very short fights
Yeah.
by herself.
You definitely want to remember to eat the food.
Yeah.
Oh.
Combine it. Yeah. Good thing. Yep. You got it.
And remember, level restore.
Yeah, so I have to get one ability
healing.
there to make sure the auto level actually levels the thing I need right here, which is level restore.
Cheapo, where are you?
But now we
What
will
do I do
literally not
without
be
you?
manually selecting a Lilium Orb upgrade ever.
Also,
Yep.
from a story perspective here, they did actually a pretty good thing in Xillia 1. If you start up either one of their sides, Jude or Milla, it doesn't matter. In these parts where they are split up, you actually don't know what's happening on the other side. So, the game basically wants you to play both sides at least once, so you get really the full storyline of both sides.
And they do have different boss fights to help that out as well, that you would never have gotten those
Yeah.
fights as well. Okay, the guard fights, the trick here is Freddie's going to use a basic 4-hit combo, follow it up into a flare attack, which knocks the enemy down, and then he's going to immediately go into a grave attack, because the grave is going to knock him off the ground. And this is typical Tales games where you do way less damage to enemies that are on the ground. The whole point of doing it this way in particular is just to make sure this guard doesn't use that big freaking shield to block all your attacks and waste a lot of time.
Yep. So I'm gonna try to do it a way that's supposed to be faster, but I'm really bad at, just to try to show it off. I did not practice this at all, so come on.
Yeah, and again, the level restore was really important too, because you might have noticed that's a pretty TP heavy strategy he's using for the guard fight.
See, this is why I don't like using this, because he can actually break out of it.
The fact that he levels up and gets all his
Come on.
HP and TP maxed out means they can immediately start to go ham on this guy.
This feels like watching Tales of Hysteria Super Armor happening. You try to wait it out, and he is still having it.
Oh my
You
god, this
really
guy is
learned to
just
block.
blocking for days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like I said, I'm not very good at that strat, and you can break out of it, I think.
It looks fancy.
It looks fancy, and it's a little bit faster if you don't have that happen. But
I imagine it was a little bit higher damage.
Yeah, well, no, the damage is the whole point of that whole like dive kick into the grave is that it doesn't have the part where she's sticking her sword into the ground and pulling it back out again animation, so it's a little faster.
Oh yeah, right.
plus you can
Makes
guard
sense.
cancel the end of flare bomb, so the end of that animation is cancelled as well.
That's pretty cool. I've never seen that one before, so I was excited.
Yeah, I've done it before. It's just, like I said, that was actually one of the better times I've done it, honestly. Other than the whole him blocking.
Okay, another main reason why it's so important for Milla to get all that experience points and gain those 6 levels is that because she was by herself and the party's now just joining her. Wow, they must have did some off-screen training too, because they have exactly the same amount of levels as Milla does now. Go figure.
Catch-up mechanics. They exist.
Yeah,
Especially
actually
in this
the
game.
catch-up mechanics in this game are really convenient. Not only did they come back with the same amount of experience points, but later on when you have a similar things happen, they'll come back and they'll have the best armor that the game expects you to have at that point.
Yeah, they'll come back with better armors and weapons. So we basically never have to buy.
Orb is coming along nicely.
We never have to buy armor, and we only buy like 2 weapons the entire game.
Yeah, you can literally just do hand-me-downs to Milla. She's the only one we never have to, or we never really buy anything for, really.
Alright, remember to actually do this menu here.
But we're coming to a part, if you played Milla's story your first time, this next boss was probably the one that gave you a lot of trouble, because now you have to play as Jude.
Yeah.
Yep, that's me. I had trouble winning Ivor actually because of that.
Yeah, Ivor is is a pretty tricky solo boss. He's fairly fast. It's the fight that basically asks you, alright, have you been practicing your pivot snap?
Watch out! Focus! Focus!
Because if you haven't, you're in for a rough time.
Hey,
Focus!
4 please.
Focus!
Yeah, he's pretty tricky, but if you're playing Jude's story for the speedrun, he's a lot tougher. You do not have the 6 extra levels that you have in Milla's story. You come here much. He will spring up from his grounded state.
How dare you allow this to happen? Shut up! I don't need to hear your excuses. I tried. I said shut up! It's time for you to pay for your sins, you bastard!
He will spring up from his grounded state.
How dare you allow this to happen? Shut up! I don't need to hear your excuses. I tried. I said shut up! It's time for you to pay for your sins, you bastard!
He will spring up from his grounded state.
How dare you allow this to happen? Shut up! I don't need to hear your excuses. I tried. I said shut up! It's time for you to pay for your sins, you bastard!
Oh shoot, I wasn't paying attention.
Ivor did it. Ivor definitely did it.
Okay, let's just do this. So.
Oh my god! It's a loop! It says they have died? What? Oh, Kendrick, don't spoil that!
Fulfill my duties.
I don't know anything.
What's even happening? I don't even know what's happening right now.
Wait, are you even here, Freddie? Wait.
Yeah, he's here. Okay,
Oh.
it looks like it's back on.
Okay. You guys can hear me just fine, right?
Yeah, I'm just
totally-
messing around.
Okay. Just making sure. Because my internet's working. I'm watching the stream. Watching the RPG Limit Break stream. Oh, I forgot to split.
Yeah. Ivor's tricky and requires a little bit of practice to get a decent time in. Like, I think at RPG Limit Break, I practiced that fight quite a bit because that was my fight. And I was able to get, like, sub 1 minute pretty consistently.
So you guys didn't really miss Met much, honestly. The Ivor fight was pretty terrible. Pretend that Ivor fight didn't happen. Since apparently
I mean,
it
his
didn't
patterns
work.
are fairly straightforward, but he's actually executing them pretty quickly, so you have to pay attention to his movement.
Yeah, the worst one is the one where he kind of like does a flip in the air, hits the ground, and creates like a forward shockwave. That one's really tricky because you typically want to back up to dodge most of his attacks, but that one you can't back up and dodge because it just has such a long range.
I disagree. I did it a couple times in that fight.
I know, but sometimes if he does it and you don't, if you're not far away enough to get out of the way in time, you can't.
Let's see how Hammer's M control me
They
today.
say that back during the mining.
Yep.
Oh boy,
Oh, boy.
nightmare stars.
Hammer's
Yeah.
M is just incredibly random, and I'm trying to get a good time on Hammer's M. Well,
Like pulling teeth.
Yes, exactly.
So we have one more fight in this game until we start actually getting to the meat of fireball spam plus stun locking
Right.
things.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's a boss I really wish we could stun lock and fireball all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
can
agree.
imagine that.
Cause yeah,
Trust me, when I in Xillia 2, when I got to fight, Xillia 2 basically reuses a lot of the boss fights in this game. The fact that I had a full party that wasn't just Jude and Leia against Hammer's M was really kind of cathartic. That said,
the run itself is not that not that RNG heavy, but there are these special cases that RNG can screw you over like 1,000 times, and you think like for no good reason normally,
that's what.
but it can happen.
yeah. But now we have Leia in the party. Leia is almost kind of a light mage. She's not. She has typical healing spells that you would expect, right? But she's got a much more martial arts focus, kind of similar to Jude. That said, the only reason we have her in a party isn't for healing. It's not that we really don't need healing.
Resurrect is useful.
Resurrect is kind of useful, I guess. But for the most part, we want her so that she can use a move called Sharpness. Sharpness increases both physical attack and art attack damage.
And honestly, the only reason we use her for that is because no one else has anything that's actually useful.
Yep.
Jude or Alvin just don't really have ranged moves that will do the things we want. So
Yeah.
casting
Well,
a small
they
damage
have a
buff is better than nothing.
Yeah. Oh, and we're to my favorite part of the game. This I hate more than anything.
Oh, that's
You
gonna
have
be a
these
fight.
boulders. You have to mash the X button to charge your attack in order to break through them, and you really have to mash hard.
Yeah.
I can
came-
confirm that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
even
don't
came
mess
up.
around with these.
Yeah. I even came up with my own technique to deal with that without destroying my arms, because it's just one wall is bad enough, but you have, I believe, four. Oh yeah, 4. It's been a while, but yeah,
It's 4 arm destroying, is what it is.
4. Yeah, and basically, so there are like 3 different levels depending on how bright they glow. You need at least 2 of like the second glowing ones to break the walls, or like 1 third level glow or anything else, and that will destroy the walls. It's hard to put stuff into words, but I'm trying.
Yeah, but even then, it doesn't matter which amount because it's always going to be faster to get to the 3rd level charge to hit it anyways, because you actually swing the moment you hit that 3rd level charge.
No, you don't.
You know?
Nope. It's just usually about when you get to the 3rd level is we run out of time.
Yeah.
Right. Alright. Well, it always felt like that way for me. Either way, I hate mashing. And casually, I'm pretty sure a lot of people hate this mine because there's a lot of little extra things you have to break through with the pickaxe to get to, like, if you're trying to get all chests, collect all items. You're gonna hate this dungeon.
Yeah, all these colored rocks you can also break for stuff, and you have to do this every time.
Yeah, I'm really bad at mashing, so it always takes me 3 tries for the boulders to get rid of them.
Okay. Oh, that's the last one. One more tough enemy, sometimes annoying enemy to dodge, and then we're through.
What's causing these
Ah, you see a
Yeah.
good spot. We should be fine.
No. Let's just keep moving.
Feel
Yeah.
like a Hammerzam.
Yep. Alright, well, I'll take this moment to definitely explain Hammerzam. Hammerzam's a big ol' earthworm.
Yeah, that he is.
The big problem when fighting Hammerzam is he likes to go underground.
Jeez, why is this thing so
And
dark?
whenever he goes underground, he's basically invincible. He can't actually do anything.
Let's just focus on beating
On top of that, he hits extremely hard. He's got a couple attacks that are really hard to dodge, and sometimes it's just like, because of how you're forced to fight this guy, he's almost always going to hit you, so you're always trying to make sure that you're blocking. So the strategy here is very similar to how you fight in Zhao, where linked arts are your go-to damage source here. The main one you want to take advantage of here is the Tempest Clash, because that knocks up Hammerzam in the air. It does decent damage, but whenever he's knocked in the air, that means he's not underground. Anytime when Hammerzam's not underground is a good day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
The team special that Leia gives Jude is a steal chance.
All that training's
Item
paying
steal?
off.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for
That's the
a
support
workout.
she does. It'd be amazing if that was a useful skill in this game, but it's not, because every time you successfully pull off a support move like item steal, you get a huge boost to your gauge at the left there, and that would have been really nice to help speed this fight up. So everything is around is literally just using Soaring Vortex and Tempest Clash in order to keep this guy from not going underground. And that was pretty decent for the first part of the fight.
Yeah, that looked good. Definitely.
Yeah, that looked good to me too.
That was the easy one, trust me.
And
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
the
that's
real one
also
begins.
true.
Yeah, you thought he was fun in RNG before. Guess what? You have to fight him again. And
Yep.
yes, you have Milla with you, but guess what? She's completely useless. She is more likely to do
Humble, at
more
least.
harm than good in this next fight.
Please.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
So now we have the exact same strategy what we were doing before. Milla's job is to sit in the background, look pretty.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah. Is a thing you can do, and
Wait, Leia actually pulled that off her pivot snap equivalent? I'm surprised.
Leia is sometimes
That's
pretty
a fight.
dodging, but she has her moments as well.
yeah. And just imagine in a Jude story speedrun, you'd be fighting him at lower levels.
Yeah, in fact, back at RPG Limit Break, because we had the whole Jude versus Milla storyline bid war, I set up the save file so that we could practice this fight in co-op, and in co-op runs, we don't permit the use of link art or linking at all. Bad idea!
Well, we do a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, but the problem is that
Really?
without linked arts, you don't really have an effective way to deal damage to this guy. Not to mention, you're so low level
That
in
was
the
okay
Jude
on the
warrior,
items.
we could not beat him. It was so bad. I could beat him if it was like solo controlling Jew with link darts, but I could not beat him without link darts. Oh yeah, we are.
You kind of know it's smelling
Really?
trouble if he grabs you and smacks you on the floor a couple of times.
This is dumb.
Oh, don't tell me, please.
Oh, I'm Twitch delay. Oh my god, now I see what you're talking about. That's not
Resurrection for the win.
Yes! That's not uncommon for the Hammer Sam fight to go this way.
Ah. that was a random guy.
Yeah, that's always infuriating when you pull off a link dart and Hammer Zang goes on the ground being invincible.
Didn't notice that.
You're pulling it off.
Okay, at
244
least,
is a terrible fight, considering.
but at least you got deathless, man. Wow.
Yeah, wow, and
That was sketchy.
It was
yeah,
sketchy as heck.
But hey, we made it past chapter 1. But yeah.
Phew, we can relax a little
Oh
bit.
my god, he even summoned a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, he
Yeah.
got one.
But yeah, chapter 2 though, things are going to be a lot different, and we're really going to break this game. Like, it's going to be lit on fire. We'll stop.
After the Zhao
How long
and
is
the
that?
Hammer Zam, this is really kind of a cathartic feeling. Because at this point, Rowan, the full party rejoined. And the goal is, the party makeup is going to be Rowan spamming fireballs, Milla using Slash Nadine, Sharpness from Leia, and Elise is going to be using a move called Negative Gate. With these
useful.
powers combined, you have broken the game.
You got the ultimate crowd control. Like, Negative Gate is so much better than Splash. Like, there's no contest.
They all work
Yeah.
in concert to make this game silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that said, there is still a decent enough kind of like even though these moves are all really, really powerful and really broken when used combined with each other, that doesn't mean that it's all just a walk in the park from here on out. It's certainly a lot more. It's certainly a lot easier than the nonsense we just dealt with, but the fact is that you still have to deal with all the bosses in this game has that Iron Will mechanic. Every boss does Iron Will differently, and there's some bosses that are extremely mobile too. Later on, we're going to see a boss called Wingle, who is notorious for just murdering your mages.
He's good at that, yes. And
Yeah,
no, we are
and-
not done fireball spamming. We have lots and lots of that to go. Trust me.
Yeah.
We are just getting started.
We're starting to fire. I will not stop with these bad jokes, by the way.
Yeah,
You're
part of
so
what we
Why are you
funny.
here?
Exactly, that's why I'm here. And Rowan is also, he's on the slow side, so keeping your distance is really important.
Yes, Rowan is really, really slow. He's an old man. Can you blame him? But the
He
other
got
thing,
some moves. It's fine.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
doing well for his age, but still.
I
that
actually
said-
had problems with Rowan when I first controlled him. Like, I wasn't used to his movement speed because I was playing Jude, and Jude is 10 times faster
Way
as him.
faster, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had so much trouble controlling him.
Yeah. That said, even though Rowan's Fireball is extremely powerful and is what we're going to be using, do not forget that Rowan also has a ton of really, really powerful skills we're going to take advantage of in this run. Two of which is literally just going to reduce the spell cost of all his arts. And remember, Fireball is a first tier spell. And the fact that we're spamming a first tier spell as much as we have means Rowan will never run out of TP. So TP management has gone down significantly. The only two characters we have to worry about for orange gels is Elise
Sounds so romantic.
and Milla. Milla isn't going to run out
Sorry to
that
be such a burden
fast
back there.
because Splash is fairly low cost, but Elise's Negative Gate is definitely a costly move.
And Of note, in this game, Xillia 1 was really the first Tales game to have like fully 3D camera, so instead of like a fixed angle, you can move it around however you feel, and really makes getting through the overworlds just non-issue. I mean, aside from just making sure you don't run into enemies, it's just getting from point A to point B, and just fighting bosses and doing whatever you need to do along the way.
The next boss, speaking of, we got a big ass boar coming up.
Oh yeah,
I forget.
remember that one very well.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the actual name for the thing, but he literally is just a big boar.
Name is
Yeah.
Brutar.
Oh
Brutar
yeah,
the boar.
Brutar is where, your crowd control really comes into play here, because if you don't do it well enough, that fight can become a huge mess.
But yeah, this is why we
mostly
do
just-
auto, by the way, because otherwise we would have to spend every one of these 40-something points manually.
Yeah.
Boy, this would sure be nice in Final Fantasy 13, huh? Wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
True enough.
And one other thing, going to the fight about the shortcuts is that the shortcuts override everything. So like, if your characters need a heal, it will override that. So you do want to be a bit careful with how you use them, especially if you need to recover.
Yeah. Like I said before with the Iron Will mechanic, the boar actually has one thing about his Iron Will mechanic is incredibly abusable. When you see the blue exclamation mark go over the boar's head, what's going to happen is the boar is going to do kind of like a turn on its heels and do like a back kick attack, which he does no matter if you're in range of that attack or not. So it's weird just how convenient it is to just spam attacks. He acts his Iron Will. He has to do his little attack, but he's never moving forward when he's doing this attack. So you can just keep him locked down for so much longer.
We hope that's happening, because one thing you don't want to have Brutars doing is being close range at you.
Yeah.
Because this guy,
He hurts.
and I can imagine casually, many people like me got screwed over by this guy. He
When I see
hit
a sunset
so
like
damn
this,
hard. If you
I
think
can't help but
Zhao
think of
is
home.
hitting hard, this guy is on a new scale level, like seriously.
Yeah, which is kind of nice that his biggest weakness is just dealing with ranged attackers.
So yeah, now I'm just going to be doing a lot of rotating my right control stick and spamming circle.
Yeah.
Oh, Nightmare's coming
Yep,
back.
oh.
Xillia too.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter right now.
Oh,
That said, the other thing he's going to try to make sure that happens is that Fireball is properly lined up with what he's trying to hit. 'Cause a lot of times what'll happen is, you start casting Fireball, the boss moves slightly out of the way, and next thing you know, all four of your Fireballs just go right past him.
Yeah, the homing capability is only on really long range, where you can see it actually follow. On close range, you can be sidestepped.
Oh, something else I completely forgot to mention that's really nice about Negative Gate. Negative Gate also has this side effect where it's like a vacuum. It will actively pull enemies to the center. So that is one of the best aspects about it, because it doesn't really do that much damage. But the fact that it puts all the enemies you really want into one little neat center is really, really convenient.
Well, speaking about convenient, we got a 420 Blazed on that burn tick, that's for sure.
Yeah. And you know what? You could say that
Really gonna ride
you-
a wyvern?
you got some roasted pork
Really
right there.
scary.
Oh yeah. I will stop while
we'll
I'm
be
ahead.
here all day, folks. Or at least for the next couple hours.
I was waiting to do that.
But it was actually a pretty good fight. I mean,
That was pretty
the
solid,
startup
actually, yeah.
was a little bit clunky.
Well, that's just the nature of the boar in general.
He always
likes
runs at you at the
charge-
start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you get the setup going,
Windows, please.
typically as long as you get like Elise or Milla to use their splash or negative gate, you can kind of start getting some distance. He'll change his attention over, and then you can use fireballs. And then suddenly the party is just like in all like corners of the battlefield, which makes a boss like Brutar a lot easier to control because he's just like he doesn't know who to go after.
This is actually one of my favorite towns, more or less, in this game.
Yeah.
Seems annoying to speedrun though.
No,
Do a lot of the
because
same
map.
things.
But like,
No,
Similar.
I like the design. The design is actually pretty cool.
Design's cool, I agree.
oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is also the town where you can go find the Colosseum, another staple of the Tales games.
Oh yeah.
And this one's tied into the story as well, so you actually have to go use it.
Really, the Colosseum's an RPG staple, not even just Tales games.
You have to have a Colosseum or an arena style feature in the game. It's kind of like a must, I think.
Pretty
Or
much.
you could even like name your game after an arena, like Elder Scrolls Arena.
Maybe
Even though-
even that.
Yeah, even though the game didn't have an arena, well, I guess that's close enough.
It's okay. It made up for a pretty decent arena in Elder Scrolls 4.
Alright, that's close enough.
I appreciated having that actually because it was if you're creating a new character, going to the arena, just signing up, doing one battle, and getting a bunch of free weapons and armor was really
A
convenient.
fantastic victory. That wasn't.
I'll take it.
So right now you also see that we're using Windlands. Windlands has the side effect if you R-tune it that you get multiple Windlances based on the amount of enemies that you hit with your first Windlance, if I'm not completely wrong.
Correct. So if he hits 3 enemies with one wind lance, you spawn an additional 3 more wind lances that will pierce through enemies.
And do
that's
the same
big-
amount of damage too. Like it does a lot of AoE damage. So
So
Yeah, that's
if
the-
you have a lucky pattern, you can do some serious damage here.
Yeah, the big factor is also the fact that it pierces through enemies as opposed to Fireball, which it doesn't. Some of you might be wondering, where's Alvin? Alvin's with us. He's traveling with us. He's carrying the luggage. That's
pretty
about
much,
it.
yeah. He'll complain later,
technically,
but
yep.
he likes it. Or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Alvin is your typical lady guy in any game in your group. You have to have that one guy.
He's
The
just
lady
the
killer. Quote
he's a
unquote.
But yeah, Alvin. In Milla's story, Alvin is, for the most part, not required for any boss fight, except for the early game. After a certain point, there's no reason we're ever going to use him again. So we're just saving time, but not just simply not having to level him up. But unfortunately, this is not true if you're playing Jude's story. There's going to be a point in Jude's story where you have to use Alvin in your party, and in fact, for the I forget what they're called. I believe they're called the Twin Dragons in the Frozen Passage. For whatever reason, Alvin has the best attack to deal with that boss. So it's weird. It's like it's his time to shine, but only in that category.
I agree with the dog, absolutely.
Yes, I'm with the dog too.
Dog, please.
The rhythm.
Fred, I closed my dang window before this day.
Thank you.
So we got an additional co-commentator all of a sudden spontaneously. I
Yeah,
like
this is my friend, my personal friend Grizzy. It's my neighbor's dog that apparently
I
is
know
very knows when I'm streaming and likes to join me.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
Victory. Well done, everyone.
So I'm just doing some tournament fights because I entered a tournament.
Yeah, they. In the context of the story right now, I think you are trying to get dragons to fly to your next destination, but they don't just let anybody ride these dragons. And the people that will let you use them want you to participate in the Coliseum. So that's why
Another
we're
note
here.
actually also is, story-wise, there is kind of like an ambush happening because people are after Milla, and they actually set up normally a poisoned meal beforehand, so... But you are kind of like still forced to go through the arena, even if you know that you maybe get ambushed.
Cough.
They're
cough.
they're not very good assassins. I'm sorry.
Nah, not really.
They're pretty bad
I've
at it.
seen
It's
better.
true.
Hey, but effort, right?
They get an E for effort.
I mean, some are more open-minded, so maybe... okay.
Then something Alvin's not who we think he is.
Yep,
Et
you
cetera,
gotta have that
et cetera,
character
story.
in these games.
Ah,
I mean, it's whoop spoilers, but not really. I don't even know, but yeah, Tales games just always have those kind of characters, and Alvin is that guy you don't know who to trust or not.
Yeah, you can trust that he has a main character. That much is true.
you can trust that he's in the party and can help, I guess, probably. And will probably be good by the end of the game.
And he totally won't betray the party at some point, or multiple times.
No, he's not your double agent character that you typically have.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
in the
talking
game.
about.
But that aside, I think the one thing we can all agree on is we need to see some swimsuits in this game.
Oh yeah.
I don't have any swimsuits, sorry. No swimsuits for
Aww.
No DLC, man. Oh,
you.
come
DLC
on.
overrated.
I'm more of a maid and butler outfit person, but whatever works.
I
This
mean,
is serious speedruns.
I would
Up until I get the goofy
I would
glasses.
neither take swimsuits or maid and butlers. I'm more the classy guy.
Don't forget to eat
Oh,
this.
outfit. So, a good suit on a female character is, it has some classiness.
You're a classy person.
I try to be. I don't do very well, but I try to be.
That's the thought that counts.
Hey, I'm more laid back. I'm the kind of guy who it would be just like I just need just a simple t-shirt and a pair of shorts. I'm good.
Oh, come on.
Sounds good. So here we
Great,
have
one of
our
these.
ambush, basically. And these guys are, yeah, fairly easy for the most part. They can get a little bit annoying because they have different elements, and as you see, AoE attack, which can hurt quite a lot if you don't get rid of them on a distance and they get very close to you.
Yeah, unfortunately we do not have a lead for this fight either, so a lot of our crowd control is a bit lacking. But thankfully these guys are rough.
Yeah.
They are indeed rough, I agree.
Yeah, they can hit hard, and like I said before, Rowan isn't the most agile guy.
It's over.
Impressive. Yeah.
I definitely had better at that fight before.
Of course. This
Yeah,
is my mission.
I believe the if remembering yesterday's practice run, you actually had a really good fight.
Yeah, yesterday was a
Guy.
great fight.
Yeah.
You didn't die. I mean,
Well, he did
start off
die,
with
but he
actually
didn't game
fairly-
over.
Didn't have to
yeah,
reset.
you didn't game over. Yeah.
So is that.
That is the most important part, because resetting a fight is always annoying. It kind of like resets also your muscle memory a little bit, and can
So-
be hard to deal with.
For an upcoming thing, I do have a question. I will be getting a certain cosmetic appearance thing. I'm curious who the chat would like to have wear it. There are many choices. You can pick any of the 6. It looks wonderful on any of them, trust me.
I'm looking forward to your answer, chat.
I actually have no idea what you're talking about right
Perfect.
now. That's
We
pretty
do.
good.
You can be our chat analog then.
Yes. you're gonna You're gonna enjoy it. I think I know what it is.
Ominous name.
And
I'm sure OC knows what it is.
Of course I know what it is. I pick it up and put it on every time.
Ow!
Haha,
This
the grass is super sharp. Let's see, we got Jude,
Elise.
Jude, one Elise, a couple of Elises. So far it looks like Jude though.
yeah.
Yeah, Jude seems to be winning so far.
Yep.
Still seeing more Judes than Elises.
Yep, I see.
You got a little bit of time still.
Yeah.
To run through this zone real quick. Give it to Locke. I wish I could give it to Locke.
I'm gonna do a count. Oh,
I only get one, unfortunately, where I would do both.
right. Let's see. So 1.
Magula.
Oh boy, oh boy, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. This has to
Okay,
happen.
one more Jude.
Sounds like Jude's gonna be the choice here.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, a slight lead by Jude.
He restock some items here.
I don't care what anybody says. I like Magilu.
She is an interesting character. Her behavior is questionable, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's just what I like. She is. I'm always guesting constantly, and I like being on edge. I'll gladly take being on edge over. Oh, I get what you're doing here, and I already know where you're going with it.
I mean, you really shouldn't get on edge. Edge isn't really into that sort of thing, I hear.
No, we are not in Star Ocean 4, that's for sure.
Thank you, Inoshira.
Yep.
I've played this game a lot because I love it, but yeah, that's the one that's like, oh boy.
What?
Oh, the Goofies. Okay.
Huh? What?
Right.
What Goofies? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
What?
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What are you talking
I
about?
goofed. I goofed.
They look perfectly fine on him. He's definitely normal now. Normal Jude.
I never did like mines all that much. It's like the one area in the game where we actually can't like fast travel out of because just how the cutscenes are set up.
And it's actually a
It took
boss
me
fight.
actually 2 weeks to
skip.
find it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't even have a boss, does it?
Yeah. There is technically a boss at the bottom, but you don't actually have to fight him for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's just.
I didn't know doing this casually. And
Yeah. Come back, he says. I want to fight you.
Hostels. Apparently the gal people in this game really like staying at hostels. I don't know.
Yeah. Hostels there, and I forgot what other lines, but you hear them a lot. Yeah, that one.
Huh? What?
Huh?
There.
There.
Over there.
Abusing enemy AI. Oh, that one didn't say anything. She said did not see me.
Oh, cool. Big enemies. Oh boy.
There.
It's just this area is just pretty boring, and would be nice if you could like warp out, but we have to climb all the way back up for plot-related reasons.
Literally
Yeah.
running down and running back up.
Yeah, it's like in many other games. You kind of like get locked out by fast traveling options on certain parts of the storyline. So you have to see certain cutscenes to actually be able to fast travel again.
Across
So-
the bridge.
Be careful. This place is crumbling down all around
We
us.
have our next
It's as
boss
if
fight
no
coming
human
soon.
has
Do
set foot in here for years.
we? I forgot.
Well, the next boss
Not for a
fight.
bit still.
Yeah,
Alright.
we don't. We mostly have just a lot of walking. The main thing is because we didn't get good luck with material shops that we're gonna have to pick up a couple chests.
Does anybody want to talk about the glitch New Game Plus category and what makes that pretty special? Since we have time.
I'm actually not that familiar with that person.
I'm not either, actually.
Same here.
I
actually.
guess.
Guess that's
I
you.
guess I'll try my best to explain it, but using the glitch with like save files, don't have the exact details, but you have a New Game Plus file, and but you have the ability to fast travel anywhere, and so it's New Game Plus with a lot of fast traveling, and it cuts down the time by a lot. I forgot what the average run is, but it is something I do want to try to maybe feature next year on the Tales of Marathon if I ever learn it, but it's an interesting category that can be done with this game.
So you actually glitched the traveling list, so you can actually
Yeah.
access areas earlier.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
That's funny.
and I thought that'd be a pretty neat thing to showcase in the future.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I think, you know what, we don't really have, like, a lot of pretty much like a lot of the Tales games that we're going to see in this marathon and like in the last one last year, pretty much like New Game is pretty much just standard because it's just what people do, and usually on normal mode. People do run New Game Plus, but it's a lot more common to see like New Game speed runs for any Tales game, really.
Or at least the ones that the people actively pour a decent amount of work and time into, because those are usually considerably more difficult than a New Game Plus run.
Yeah.
But I agree that in a marathon series where you're typically seeing really long, very standardized runs, it's nice to see a run that's super glitch heavy or something like that.
Yeah,
Just a different thing to see.
yeah, you gotta have that
I think
variety.
there actually lies the problem, because as far as I know from the Tales games I've played and I've seen, Tales games actually don't have that many glitches overall.
Yeah.
They are
And-
actually fairly glitchless for the most part, or you cannot really have glitches that are feasible in runs. And on the other hand, NG Plus is actually pretty broken in Tales games overall. So
Yeah.
I don't know any Tales game with NG Plus that's not entirely breakable to no end in that regard.
Yeah, I know that Abyss has the disc tray glitch, but even then, like, it's very hard to sequence break the game as it is, or doing stuff out of order, or just skipping stuff altogether, just because of how well scripted the game is, and the fact that, people have tried, but it's just so well put together that you can't really find you can skip stuff with this tray glitch, but not as much as we would want to.
And then there's the whole controversy talk with how do you even feel about opening up the disc tray? Do you consider that like physical, like cheating in a way because of the way you're actively affecting the console rather than the game itself?
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's a good discussion, and a pretty long one as well, because it's opinion based.
exactly.
Yeah, it's always going to be opinion based. There's
Yeah.
no way you can get around that. That's honestly, opinions is something I have a problem in general with talking with people that are fans of Tales of games in general, because the Tales of fan base is some of the most widely diversive, opinionated people I've ever met.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
And also dedicated.
Yeah, that is not enough. That is quite the understatement, but yeah, like they can get very heated. And,
They have favorites, they have hates. I always hate how it's never about, like, this is my favorite game. No, this is the game I hate the most.
yeah, or like this game sucks. Why do you like this? Or I don't know. Or people seem to like certain kinds of Tales games, and like they may be divided into one camp or another. Like some people may just talk just pretty much all about the Team Destiny style games, or people may like the Symphonia games, because even then you have like a kind of a divide between fans.
Yeah, it's weird for me because for me, I can enjoy just about every Tales game that I've played. I can definitely say there's some that I prefer over others, but for the most part, I applaud a game series as long as this one has gone on for that remains to keep a high standard of quality and still is generally fun, even if they make some changes to the gameplay that alter things a bit.
Yeah, and I'm even thankful that we got the game in the West as we did, because there was a 5 or 6 year period where we did not get any Tales games at all.
Yeah.
And then,
Yes.
yeah, and then we suddenly get like Graces F and for PS3 and Abyss for the 3DS, and then it's like, oh, are they gonna bring Xillia over here? Oh, it's like, oh, released in Japan in 11, and oh, hey, they released in the West in 13, and kind of like, yeah, Tales games are here to stay again in the West. It's that sort of thing.
It helps that with just how internet culture has worked in, it's both a good and a bad thing because you're hearing all the people, the fans that clamoring for these games to come over to Westward is like, cool, there's actually people that want to buy and play these games. Oh my god, they're still talking. Guys, calm down. You're getting more Tales games, I swear.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember those days.
Oh man.
And
Coming
like,
up. That's probably one guy I never want to see again, more or less.
So I did pick up a notable skill in that menu there called Queued Spellcasting. Basically what it does is if I interrupt a spellcast of Rowan's when he in the middle of casting, it'll reset start at the exact place you were already casting. So I can now prime up fireballs and then just block to cancel it and come back to it, and it will basically insta-cast then. It's a very useful for when you get interrupted and things like that.
Yeah,
Freddeh,
like if the next boss coming up here has anything to say, you'll be doing that quite a bit.
Yeah, it'll be fairly readily apparent in these bosses coming up.
Yeah, the guy that's coming up is well known for being a badass. And he actually also acts like that. His damage is serious. His MAs can be, well, happen quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is also pretty fast, and you want to avoid getting direct hits from him.
Yeah.
I mean, we're obviously talking about Wingle.
Yeah, and Wingle isn't even the only person you have to worry about either. You also have to worry about Pressa in that fight.
Also, of note, this is the first fight where enemies can actually link with each other as well.
yeah.
Like, you know how we
That
link
comes into play as
ourselves.
well.
Which actually is very ideal if they link with each other in this.
Yeah.
Especially if Wingle links to Pressa.
Yeah,
So then Wingle will just kind of sit there and be like, ha ha ha, hi, what's up?
And
Yeah, the AI
Pressa,
behavior is interesting.
yeah. And
Yeah,
Pressa, yeah, and the thing about Pressa is that she's weak to fire, so if she gets caught on fire, Wingle's gonna get caught on fire if they link.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things about linking in this game. How it's almost, imagine if you're linked to your party, to one of the party members, the two become one, and if one person gets damaged, the other person that you're linked to takes damage. If one gets burned, you're both burned. It's supposed to be the drawback. And the drawback really doesn't mean that much in terms of a speedrun. It hardly ever is something you worry about. But the drawback against enemies, on the other hand, is really convenient.
Oh, bad start. Cool.
Yeah, Pressa is the typical mage type caster. She'll like to come in with. She'll do like a quick swipe with her, almost like whip, I want to say. She's not the big fat though. Wingle is. He is super aggressive.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a rock axe to go off. That'll help my speed a bit.
Ideally, you would want to see Wingle try to cast spells himself.
Oh yeah, so Freddeh's using Rock Trine, which is something you see a lot from him, and this move does a lot of damage, but it's a huge risk and reward, in that if you miss, you're going to leave yourself completely open. You don't have to do it, but Freddeh likes to.
It's also got a bit delay when casting it too, so sometimes lining it up Oh, nice! You actually managed to pull it off. That is really nice.
Yeah, Freddie's just really good at pulling it off. I personally don't use it, but it's always impressive when...
Yeah, I'm typically so nervous about this Wingle gunning me down that actually taking the time to get it off is generally not worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah, this looks good to me. I mean, he got hit with a couple rock trines, and he's pretty much dead at this point. I mean, sloppy start, but I mean, nothing you can really do. I mean, if the game wants to control you, it doesn't.
Yeah, the ideal thing, another ideal thing that Wingle can do is once you lock him down, he'll either do this like little dive maneuver, which you know, he propels himself forward a bit, or he does this kind of like spin attack where he jumps in the air. That's entirely stationary. That's the best.
So you gotta burn at the very end.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that wasn't a great fight, but at least it was not a death again.
Exactly. And Pressa just goes down pretty quickly.
That wasn't.
Yeah, Pressa's just kind of there in this fight. She doesn't really do that much.
I disagree with that heavily. She destroyed me in that fight. Like, you couldn't see it because it was off screen, but trust me, she destroyed me in that fight. Like, she splashed and destroyed them at the start of the game, which threw me off to begin with, or start of the fight, rather. She went over and destroyed Milla and Lee's like 3 times a piece. Like, it was... She was the one that did all the damage in that fight, not Wingle. I was able to kite him mostly.
Jeez. Well, that was... From that boss, we're actually not that far away from our next boss, actually. The next boss, I forget his name, but it's the giant... It's another bird. Very similar fight to how we fought the nameless anomaly, the giant space butterfly thing earlier. So this one has it is decently larger, and he has this weird spin attack, which is actually pretty dangerous. If the fight goes good, you won't see it become a problem, but if it goes bad, well, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that he equipped an accessory on Rowan. Which one was that?
Was I that far? I equipped the Knight's Crest.
Knight's Crest. Yeah, you want to increase the
I just
crit chance.
glitched the game, or was I further along on that corridor than I thought I was?
I don't know.
I didn't think I was...
What?
I'm gonna want to watch the VOD on that one, because I felt like I was not
I'm
that
watching
far.
the stream right now. Let me see if I know anything.
Like, after my menu, it goes to the cutscene, but I didn't think I was that far. Maybe I was.
Yeah. Also, quick question. Do you have? Are you using a HD or a hard drive or a flash drive on? I mean, well, solid state. A hard drive, HD or a solid state drive.
HDD.
I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so one thing you can do your PS3 is that you can put a solid state drive in and faster loading usually. And for Xillia 1, I think it only saves like a few minutes. It's a bit more for the other PS3 Tales games. It's totally optional. I mean, I personally don't use one either, but some people do use a solid-state drive on the PS3, and that is a thing you can do.
I personally am not a big fan of it, because it's like, man, in order to do the fastest of this game, I have to pay an additional external hardware thing for my PlayStation 3, just to save a couple minutes.
Yeah. I know I'm never going to go for world record in this game, which is, this game is optimized. Like, if you look at how some of the Japanese runners play this game, it's like, I'm just fine, like, if I get a good time, I am happy.
Yeah, I never was one for caring about world record attempt runs in any of the games I do. It's more I'm going to do the best I can do, and that's, if I can get a decent time with that thought in mind, I'll be happy.
Yeah, and this game pretty much taught me that, even if you don't have a run that's going to beat your PB or whatever, I mean, I still have a lot of fun streaming it and, like, doing speed runs, and it's just a very chill and relaxed run for the most part.
So that was a boss. One of the reasons I changed the equipment there, like, the only time I changed the equipment the entire run, basically, is to, make it so that Rowan can absorb damage in that fight and so that he doesn't get interrupted by the thing spinning. Like, you can get out of range of it and get him trapped, but it's a lot easier to not have to worry about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the problem is more the actual hit area is a little bit bigger than his sprite and animation.
Yeah.
So...
It's a really large area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this very well from Xillia 2, Sienna Bronc, namely. It's the same art, just different color, but behavior is entirely the same, so...
It's like they basically used a bunch of assets from the first game.
Oh yeah,
Yes, you'll be seeing Sierra Bronc in the upcoming Xillia 2 run.
Yep.
Played by my buddy Soul Crusher.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be fun. I wish I could watch more of it.
Yeah, I still need to finish Xillia 2, and I'm ashamed to say that.
I want to
you
play
haven't?
through it again. I only got one ending, and Xillia 2 is one of those games I feel is like right for replay value.
Yeah.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once I can hook up my PS3 again, I get a TV again, I'll definitely try to get back into Xillia 2.
Yeah, for now, we're basically just doing a bunch of talking before we can actually go and up to the next boss fight, because, you know, this is a moment where it's like, hey, why don't you take some time for your party to split up so you can reflect on going forward and whatnot, and yeah. It's something if you've ever played a Tales of game before, you're probably very familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, these are all pretty short, and we can pretty much get back on the adventure right away.
Yeah.
This is mostly an interesting section because it's one of the only sections in the game where I don't even menu. I just go to the next fight. It's a bit of a grind to get there, but...
Yeah. I mean, this game is not too difficult to learn. I mean, some of the fights like you may have to spend a lot of practice on, and just getting the hang of the menuing. But this is like if you want a good RPG to run or just something easy to pick up, this game is definitely something I would recommend learning.
Out of all the Tales of games that I'm familiar with, I'd say this is one of the easiest entry-level ones. If you're just interested in picking up a Tales game to learn. There's
definitely
only,
one of the shortest.
like you said, there's only... Yeah, it's a short, and that's a key word there, short.
Yes, like
my first time actually doing this as my first run, I came up just under 4 hours.
Which is actually interesting, because if you play it casually, it's actually pretty long.
Yeah, I took a long time playing
I
this
was
game
playing
casually.
like 70 hours or so, and I got like 75% of the game's content. So I was amazed when I first heard about like, oh, there's a Xillia run. Wow, okay, let's see the time,
pretty
and
short.
then, wait, what? You're kidding, right?
yeah.
Question mark?
I think 70 hours for my first time through sounds about right when I did Jude's Story first, and I know Platinum Trophy is probably the easiest for this game out of the entire series. That, like, for me, it was right below 200 hours.
I will say that this is probably also one of the better Tales of games for how it handles side quests. For the most part, there's a few missable side quests, but they're really, really easy to find and track.
Yeah, I feel like this was a response to Vesperia, where it was so easy to miss, like, side quests, and Xillia just made it really easy to keep track of them, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyways, coming up shortly, we'll have the next boss, which is the boss from the very, very beginning, if you remember that far back, Agria. Her primary element is fire, but that doesn't mean much to Rowan's fireballs. He hits just as hard anyway.
Well, he hits half as hard, but it's still better than anything else he could use.
Yeah.
And also, she can still burn because reasons.
Yep.
Yeah, that said, the start of the fight is going to basically start with her coming in very slowly, and she's got a couple of allies that will die really quickly and really aren't that much to worry about. The main concern is stay away from Agria. She's a melee type fighter. Almost every single spell she knows is also short ranged as well. So it really is a distance fight with her. The big thing that can be really annoying is that this is the part in the game where you're introduced to overlimit, and the bosses in particular start using them. When they're at overlimit, they are immune to hit stun. And on top of that, they were more likely to come up, hit you hard, and use their Mystic Art, which...
Also, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she's pretty crazy.
Seriously,
She's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's actually the first fight where you get introduced to enemies with art as well at the same time. So
Nice.
a lot
Okay,
of
let's start it.
mechanics and features are getting thrown into Freddeh.
Yeah, the real scary part too is she can inflict burn status on your party, and yeah, burn will kill you.
Burn also hurts you, it turns out.
Yeah. So it goes both ways.
Burn, in fact, one of the scariest things that can potentially happen is, this is true for actually a lot of bosses, is they'll inflict burn on you, turn into a Mystic Art, which drops your HP to 1, and then you immediately die from the burn after the art ends.
Yeah, normally Mystic Art doesn't directly kill you outright. It leaves you with 1 HP, kinda like a safety net. But if you have a set of aim and tentatively get over time, then more or less get hit by it.
Hopefully he gets some good hits done against Agria, because one of the things that she can also do is she can heal herself by consuming lemon gels, and she can do this as many times as she wants.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing that she can do.
Wow. That was actually probably the best Agria fight you could ever have.
Oh wow, she is just not moving.
That was
No,
perfect.
not at all.
So usually she's a major pain in the butt. That was
That's-
not that at all, actually.
That's as good as it could have gotten. Even using
Even the
lemon
start
gel,
of the fight.
she could not even get the lemon gel off. That's how good the fight was.
She tried to use a 1, and I stunned her out of it,
Yeah,
and
but
she
you
never
interrupted
used her
actually.
overlimit.
Yeah, she got toasted.
106 Agria. That's insane.
That wasn't even a gold split, though. Really.
Why is that?
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Wow.
Wow.
I had pretty slow movement, actually, and cutscene skipping, so it doesn't surprise me, but...
Yeah, so we have some mandatory enemy fights coming up, and then our last boss of Chapter 2. And yeah, so that's what's going to be coming up really soon. And the enemies that we're going to be fighting, well, this one not particular, but the other ones can be a bit of a pain. I mean, I think you know which group we're talking about. But
Well,
Horses?
there's the horses.
yeah,
The horses.
I don't. Are they horses? Oh, you know what? Let's call them horses.
Whatever you want to call them. I call them horses, because it's
I call
easiest.
them killer giraffes, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, necks are kind of long.
Exactly.
Yeah, but either way, they're probably the ones that are the most difficult to deal with, just because of the fact they like to charge you down. I will say that the fight after that, the one with the butterflies, if you don't keep spamming negative gate, they will cast negative gate on you. It's actually one of the interesting things of how spell works in this game. It almost kind of reminds me of like Final Fantasy 12 with like there's a spell delay, right?
Yeah, like an ability queue type system.
Yeah,
Not as apparent in
basically.
this one, but...
Yeah, in this one, like only one negative gate animation can be on screen at any point. So if you're casting negative gate and they're casting it, yours goes off first. They can't finish casting their art until your art ends.
But weirdly, you can actually keep casting it, and they will never actually be able to cast it. It's really weird how it works. Jude has his glasses.
Yep. Jude's quite the master of disguise.
I guess just walking through was too much to hope for.
Who is this stranger?
I think Scorpion's enemy are actually my favorite. They're very slow and you can combo them easily. I
Yeah,
like them.
these guys are just very easy to deal with, relatively speaking.
Especially when that happens.
Yep.
Back, please.
Let's do this.
We can definitely talk about the next boss coming up. Fiddle Rashikal.
Knock-it.
Yeah.
Ow. Horse, please.
So, yeah, horse, giraffe, whatever you call them, these guys can charge, and
They're annoying.
they have Iron Will, so yeah. If they keep on interrupting Rowan, things can just fall apart pretty quickly. But as long as you get off one burn status on them, you pretty much get the fight more or less, which is what's going
I
on.
can't believe I'm visiting Orda Palace.
Yeah.
It's
Name of the
like a
game.
dream
Get
come
burned,
true.
enemy dies.
Yeah. Yeah, at least one of them is just enough to really turn the fight in your favor. For the most part. And I think the next group we're fighting right before the boss, I think they're butterfly things, but those are generally not as annoying as the giraffe things and death, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, the
Think
next,
about the butterflies, they like stack up.
yeah, they do. But the next boss coming up, he's kind of similar to like Wingle in the sense that he's got a fairly large attack swing, and he likes to kind of like home in on the melee. But the big difference between him and Wingle is Wingle is much faster. That's not to say that he is slow, but he's not nearly as fast. That said, he's primarily a melee arts user. He has a couple of long-range attacks, but for the most part, as long as you keep your distance, he is pretty manageable. I think the biggest concern is whether or not when he goes into his over. The hope is that he either doesn't go into his over limit, or if he does go into your over limit, you make sure he doesn't go after Rome.
Yeah.
Or that he spams Tyrant Spear, like you're doing right now.
The one thing you want to have
them,
him
no.
do all the time is his charge up attack. He can charge up with spear, and sometimes he's doing it like 3-4 times in a row, like it's happening right now, 2 times in a row. He's standing still in that time, so you really want to have him do that to get as much free time as possible.
Yeah, this is also another case where it's very similar to the Brutar, where his Iron Will counterattack is melee based. So if you're at range, he will never hit anybody with it.
Nice dodge release. Oh, well.
Look good.
Leia's XP doesn't matter, fortunately.
All you have lost. I request that you
Leia died at the end of the fight, but...
She's not nearly as important. To be honest,
Right at the end, oh boy.
yeah.
Oh well.
Of the people that could have died, she is the least important.
Yeah.
In fact, if she dies faster in that one fight coming up in a bit, that'd be nice, I guess.
Cough.
Alright, so with that, we're done with Chapter 2, and we're moving on to Chapter 3, and it's going to be more or less kind of like the same sort of fights we see, but yeah, we'll see when we get there.
We got a little bit of a walk here. It's not that far. In fact, it's literally... once you get out of towns, it's like 2 screens. The main thing, though, is I call it the Gauntlet, personally, just because it's just a series of normal enemy-type fights back to back to back to back, but it's all considered one battle.
So yeah, something food is very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
that's actually my favorite part of the game, because I love chain battles.
I actually enjoyed that part of the game too, and it's just...
you pretty
something
much go gun-ho in it, essentially.
Oh wait, what am I doing?
It's when Windlance becomes like god tier.
Yeah, it's also pretty
Depending on how
important
they
to note
group
with
up,
the
but yeah.
food buff. In this chain fight, is this, as said, counted as one fight. So if you use buff food, you actually get the max value out of it, because you only use up 1 usage of the food. for like essentially 5 or 6 battles, stuff like that.
Yeah, and we're at the point where he's gonna have double, like 100% increased XP from battle type food now. So at the end of the gauntlet, he's basically gonna get like 6 levels.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Only topped by a certain fight a bit later.
Yeah.
Looks like ominous clouds are gathering up. And my old bones tell me it will be a heavy rain indeed.
Oh, they're
Is
still
Tipo
landing
actually gonna
talks.
say the line?
Probably. Hopefully he doesn't get interrupted again like he last round. Yeah, there's quite a few lines. If you run this enough, you will learn the lines that show up most runs.
Yep.
And,
Something I've
yeah.
taken to get used to. Playing Berseria on PlayStation 4.
You're interrupting
The
Tipo.
Swelling from all the moisture.
How dare you interrupt Tipo? I mean, go ahead.
Like that. We're at war?
Yes.
The characters will actually, if you're running around on the open field and the characters are talking, their voices come through the controller instead of the TV. It's weird.
Weird. Anyway, I hate being puffy and wet too. It's really annoying. Buy more food.
Speaking of food, I'm hungry. When do we eat?
Right now. We just did it.
No.
It was a spicy chicken roll. It's good, I hear.
But I'm still hungry.
I'm still hungry too. I mean, I ate before hopping on, but yeah, seeing all this food, even video games.
Tales is, at least it's not like food porn like in Final Fantasy 15, where I'm actually starving while playing.
True.
Nice view of Jude's glasses there.
Tipo, I know you're concerned.
Look at this giant plant. Wow. You could use Jude. Don't splash mud
The
on me.
spicy chicken roll does
sorry
sound
about
pretty
that.
awesome.
It does. I definitely want to. I mean, I definitely want to try some. Maybe if I can find them. I mean, I know I've had like, I think I've definitely had crablets from Grace's, but yeah.
Oh, crab omelets.
Are they crab omelets?
It's literally omelets and crabs combined. Crab omelets.
I thought it was something different, but
Nope, it's literally that.
huh.
The interesting part about this chain battles is actually that we are fighting 2 oppositions.
You're fighting 2 armies at the same time.
Yeah, and
And
they
they
don't care.
also fight themselves at the same time. So it's a 3-way battle, actually.
I'm starting to believe victory is not his ultimate goal.
I have a bad feeling about all
In the
this.
first fight you don't see it that much, but in the later fight you actually see the enemies battling each other. Well,
Issues with him being too close and dodging his fireballs.
Don't worry.
Yeah, it seems like every Tales of game has like a particular dish they like to focus on as kind of like the thing. Omelets, crablets was Grace's. Berseria had a fixation with sushi.
oh yeah. I'm
trying to think of others. Obviously, the lack of real mutton is very important here.
The Xillia is more focused on dessert
Yep.
instead of the main issue.
Oh yeah. So Sweetie Ash reminded me that yes, we did have crablets, and it's been a while, but we're good. But I do to have them again. So thanks for reminding me. It's been a while.
Oh man, that Winston value.
Yo, Windlands.
Yeah, I've had one case where I got so many win lances to spawn on screen, the game was actually lagging super badly.
Yeah.
Oh
Definitely can do
man.
that.
Oh yeah, that's a typical thing with the PS3 Tales games. It's happening in Xillia 1 and 2. I don't know about Grace's F right now, I don't remember it, but Xillia is definitely...
I want to say I really never had like any issues with lag in Graces. It only helps that the game itself was originally a Wii game, so it's already running on a Wii.
Yeah. This was
Wow,
yeah,
that's
this
a lot of
I think-
months on it.
yeah, Xillia 1 was really the first to be designed for the PS3 from the ground up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem is actually not that too much is happening at the same time on screen. The problem is actually more that too many hits at the same time for the game to process, actually. So if you have,
Possibly. I know one of the other things that causes this game to lag out is, if you probably already noticed, but a lot of the spell effects in this game are really, really large and have massive animations.
yeah, but they are more or less not the main issue. The main issue is that multiple hits at the same time are coming across, and the game starts to slow down a little bit to process everything properly. So glitches don't happen. That's the main issue for the frame loss we have overall. But the animation also is a factor, obviously.
Okay, getting close to the end of this here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pretty long fight.
But you do get a lot of experience from it.
And it's completely mandatory. You have to do it.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice that this does exist, because imagine going up to the next boss fight after this without all this experience points.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah,
I have
the,
one
ne-
more.
the next boss after this is the Chimera, where you're going to be fighting Wingle, Zhao, and Freddeh at the exact same time. They have considerably less HP than, or at least, they're not as strong when all three of them together there, but Wingle is still the major threat. Zhao is thankfully not nearly a problem as he was back when we fought him in the start of the game. In fact, Zhao is probably one of those guys you were least concerned about. It's all Wingle.
Yeah, and like Pressa is pretty much a pushover since she is weak to fire.
That said, they can gang up on you, and that is the major danger of the fight. As soon as you get Wingle down, that fight becomes much more manageable.
Yeah, the combo abilities or capability of the Chimera is really the main issue you have to deal with.
Yeah, and thankfully, the game lets you restock all your items, which really does help. But yeah.
Intelligence. Okay, so it's a really quick dive into this. I didn't have to reset on Zhao though. I don't think. In my D-Rest. I did this run, yeah.
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 Near the end of it too, sadly.
Yeah. What also makes Xillia very beginner friendly is that if you game over on a boss fight, you're given the option of just redoing it from the beginning.
It's something that most modern Tales games now do after this game, where you have the option to reset after a party wipes in a boss. Though, be careful. That does not always mean true for every fight in the game. If you are, like, I recently found out Tales of Xillia, if you die to just a normal enemy encounter, you don't get to just retry. You have to load your previous save.
Huh.
Yeah, normal random battles are excluded from that feature. It's only for boss battles. So if you die in a random encounter, you get a game over.
Yeah. Oh, something else that's really just like we said before, Ruin, really powerful fireballs. Really
Oh, I almost hit him.
After you, at this point in time, Rowan gets access to the overclock skill. Overclock makes it so where his spells do 50% more damage at the cost of making the spell cost more TP to use. But again, it's Fireball, which is the cheapest spell he knows. So even with Overclock, he is still gaining more TP than he is spending.
Ow. This is a fight
Very
for
annoying
sure.
that game because you lose control of a character and he acts randomly.
And I swear, it feels like, oh, fusion, that sucks.
Ooh, yeah.
This fight. This is a
And
ridiculous
EMA is
fight.
happening. There we go.
Yep, we got our first Mystic Art of the run.
Not a double burn at least.
And a Link Art.
Yeah, confusion in this game is probably one of the worst confusions I've seen in most games.
This fight is awful.
Well, at least...
All the link darts.
Oh, wow.
You're getting destroyed!
Oh, there's Zhao. He has like literally no hit points left too. Wow. Press up, please. Go away.
Okay, number one is down, but not the most important one.
It's down too.
But Wingle should also be... Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Yeah.
Rough fight.
Okay, this should be okay now.
Yeah, we're fine now. But
And that was just a really nice thing about, yeah, as you saw with Link, inflicting burn of one, and we'll just make it happen to the other one. And yeah, that Zhao, thankfully Zhao and Wingle got killed right after each other. And again, Freddeh is not really a big deal. Since, again, she's weak to fire.
Yeah, but that
And she also
confusion
misses as well.
chance by her was really brutal. I don't
Yeah,
even
no.
know why they call it confusion in this game, because confusion in this game is essentially a charm. You are just so blindly confused you're attacking your allies and you've lost total control of your character.
To be fair, that's confusion is in a lot of RPGs.
Yeah, so we have a quote-unquote fight coming up.
It's a tough fight, really. It's the hardest one.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of the speedrun for a reason. Cough, cough.
I actually have a question here for the chat, for the people that played this game. How many of you people actually tried, the first time you played it, to win this battle
I
from
did.
start?
I know I did.
I win.
I did.
It's actually a pretty doable boss, even for a fight of its caliber.
I had no idea that you can do the thing that's about to happen. I had no idea.
Hey guys, can we all pretend it's like the
Come on, guys.
limit break run? Let's see who dies last.
Yeah.
Remember, at least it's still Ghoul.
Slowest
Elise.
move ever.
Elise gonna die first.
That was amazing.
Elise is the king of the hill.
Sometimes he'll use really fast moves and kill you quickly. Other times he'll do that.
Oh, Ghoul died last again.
Dang it, Ghoul. Every time. Took him forever, too.
We always make it a joke back when we did the 4-player co-op run. It was don't want to be the last person to die in that fight.
Heck, we made it so whoever was the last person to die there had to do the run through the Spirit World.
Yep. Trust me, if you want to see cats, wait for Xillia too. That's
Oh, it's all about cats.
Yeah, I know.
so many cats.
I
Sorry,
know I'm spamming cat emotes in the chat. Don't
I
mind me.
had to throw in some
Yep.
some
I want to see
style
all
into
your
that last
catty
fight.
must chat. Just go nuts with them.
I'm surprised there isn't a Rolo emote. Rolo was cute.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Rollo is amazing.
Get some more money, get some more stuff, so for hopefully our last shop, at least, of the game. Got a lot of Everbloom.
Oh god, going after every cat in Xillia too. Ugh.
Oh wow. No, please not. No, any percent cat, all cats.
Windblade, 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 farewell, farewell. Windblade, Windblade.
Alright, this is also the point in the game where you reach another huge divergence in the storyline, where Milla is split apart from Jude. In this part, Milla is going to be with Rowan and Leia, while Jude is stuck with Alvin and Elise.
Freddeh, do you want to make a save because of that glitch that can happen?
Too late.
Oh.
You already missed that
Was it-
spot.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't sure.
Good
I only
idea, but
remembered
too
this
late.
cave, actually. Alright. There we go. We got the whiff of the day.
What could
Oh,
possibly go wrong?
wait, nope, I'm just gonna actually donate a little bit of money. Because I'm that close to level 28. It's worth 600 gold to get Cursebreaker, I think. Probably, if I can afford it. Oh wait, I never bought holy bottles either.
You don't need holy bottles, just saying.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's easier and faster.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to buy takoyaki for one fight.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you have a concrete shopping list for this game.
Of course, I was then like 500 short of Cursebreaker, so I had to. It's okay. We're marathon running. It's fine.
Yep.
So now holy water, so I don't have to dodge quite as much. You still kind of have to dodge between things, but it's less annoying, especially in this tight corridored space.
Yeah. So I guess
Yeah,
we
holy
should.
bottles.
Oh yes, about how holy bottles work in this game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they're holy balls.
Yeah, and so they only work on enemies where I believe that you have to be a certain level for some of them.
To be
Otherwise,
higher,
they
basically.
will. Yeah, you have to be higher, and otherwise they will try to go after you, and that's why we really want to try to keep our party levels up. So.
Well, that's
But-
never really an issue, because even casually, you're even a higher level than most people are casually because you just abuse the food.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if, let's say when your party members die in a boss fight and your levels are a bit off. But that really...
It matters for the last area mostly.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That really matters for the last area or so. And, yeah, usually, I mean...
I'm not PBing. When I died to Zhao, I wasn't gonna PB. I'm actually keeping up fairly well after that point. I've only lost 2 minutes, I think, total since Zhao.
Yeah. Yeah,
But I
you're
lost
looking...
4 minutes to Zhao, so...
Yeah.
It's Zhao, dude. We're not gonna hold it against you.
I mean, Jow happens.
Holy bottles in this game are actually very useful, as well as the double-edged sword, because enemies are running away, so they behave a little bit differently, and sometimes panic around, so they actually try to run away from you, hit a wall, and then come back, and you run into them.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit strange.
It can be a little annoying, but once you're used to it, it's not too bad.
Yeah, we don't have Elise in our party, do we?
And no, we do not.
Not in this
Luis
part.
is with Jude. In fact, that's the one thing that actually makes you have to level up Alvin, and if you're playing as Jude's story, is because Alvin is integral, and you are down to just 3 party members
So you
for
say.
a boss
They
fight.
seem plenty hot to me.
Yeah. I think Elise has a skill that lets you run away from battles instantaneously.
Well,
Which,
not instantaneously. It literally speeds up by like 80%.
80, well, it's close, and that's close enough for me. But yeah, but what you said, 80% instantaneously, same thing. But yeah, since we don't have that here, we really do not want to get the enemy encounters, and we're already at the
It's called Chicken Run.
chicken run. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's been a while since. Thank you. So, yeah, this fight, we're gonna fight fire with fire.
We do have this tidal wave though, which is also really good against it. The fact that you can still burn a living fire-breathing tiger thing is hilarious. It's still really more effective.
I got 3 burns on that fight.
Go.
That's how easy that part is. Or how
Yo,
much
sick
easier it
bird.
is. Like, I guess the game just never expects you to use fire on this boss because it's literally made of fire. Why would you do that? That would be dumb.
Right?
So we use fire and he burns very easily because reasons.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm hot. Oh, I'm too hot. I'm too hot.
There's too much heat. Also, Phil Visage, my PB is only like a minute slower than the English world record, though. So, yeah.
Jeez, 32 seconds. That's a really good fight with that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an ideal fight too. I still lost a bunch of time because my movement and my moving was really bad that run time. Trying to get the curse breaker.
Well,
okay.
no, that was just RNG manipulation to get that boss to cooperate. I get
Obviously, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
definitely RNG manipulation.
Usually that boss hates me, and I hate that boss.
you. For now, we really don't have like a lot of fights or anything. It's a pretty decent sizable gap between the next few battles.
Yeah.
Mostly just reuniting with the previous party. Also, when Jude, Elise, and Alvin rejoin, they also get the levels that you gain, but more importantly, they also come with gear.
So, you'll notice I went the wrong way earlier when I was going to a certain zone. Yeah, that was on purpose. Back in Konbalar, the snow city. I kind of went across the street, then turned around. That was not... Oops. Talking
That
about
was
turning around.
purely just to create a fast travel point.
Yes, because otherwise you couldn't fast travel here.
Yeah, the good part about the splitting teams is that when they reunite, they actually get a free equipment upgrade, which especially in the next one, the later one, the big split up, is actually also a significant advantage from Milla's route over Jude's route.
Yeah.
Because with Milla, you are... okay, now we'll talk about that then later. But yeah, pretty much that's also one big difference in the diversity of their routes. Which saves up a lot of time and routing and money and stuff.
Well, the big... right now, the fact that Jude and Alvin got equipment, it doesn't really mean much. At least getting some equipment is a little nice, just because we actually take advantage of a negative gate. So that's... But it's not integral. Like, at least getting a better weapon and a better piece of armor isn't going to make a huge difference.
She gets decent damage with negative gate, to be fair.
Yeah, but it's no Rowan's Fireball.
I mean, yeah, it's not as much as Fireball, but it's close-ish.
I mean, for Elise, you have basically her initial equipment.
Better
right?
than
You don't
Splash.
actually buy any.
So something story, you know, the people we were fighting, Agria, Wingle, etc., are helping us. Or we're helping them.
Well,
Depends on who you talk to, I
one
guess.
scarf, of course.
That's
Yeah.
your priority?
It's mutual cooperation with your enemies, because an enemy of my enemy is my temporary friend.
Yep.
Don't worry, we'll go back to hating each other shortly after.
Yep.
We will definitely get there soon.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Yes, but for now we just again, it's been a while with this game.
I've run it enough where it's fairly ingrained in my head. Like, even just like watching this right now, I've already kind of like, okay, I know what he's doing next, and what menuing he has to do. That's just the nature with just speedrunning in general. It's you practice to a point that where you have it memorized, that you can kind of, as you're just going along in the run, you're like, okay, I'm at this point, I remember to do this, I remember to do that.
Yep. Even if you don't play it for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't run for at least 6 months when I did a D-Rust yesterday.
Seems to be
To make
empty.
sure I was
Yeah,
ready
like-
for this. And
I mean, like, I have not run this in roughly a year, but even then, like, I mean, when I remember things, I just remember them really well. I may forget some details just because it's been a while, but again, it's just, again, that's the thing about speedrunning.
I'm just a big nerd when it comes to video games in general, and RPGs in general, I seem to remember better than most genres of video games. Like, I definitely memorize RPGs way better than I remember something like a traditional 2D platformer.
Milla, the castle is this way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep, it's like,
Maybe it's because in most 2D platformers there's less downtime. Like there's breather moments in RPG runs where you can kind of just like go on autopilot and just think what's the next thing you have to do.
yeah, and that's what I really like about RPG speedruns. Like, it's like, sure, I mean, they're definitely longer, but, I mean, you have downtime, you have time to breathe. I mean, you have moments where you really need to focus, but then it's like, it has its own pace. And, like, it's just what I like. Especially, like, if I want to, you know, talk to people or just be on call or whatever, I could do that for the most part, as long as the game isn't too demanding. But, yeah, so, we got some more fights, and, it's just fireball, negative game splash.
So I do want to point out that eventually he's going to fight against the tanks that jump like frogs, and I always found it hilarious.
Oh yeah, those things.
Speaking of hilarious, one of the probably funniest cutscenes is also happening between after the fight with Ivor. If you play it carefully, make sure it's good.
It is definitely good. Alright, so these things can jump. Yeah. Hopefully they won't jump. And what? The guy shot a laser beam?
yeah, they shoot
I
laser
can
beams.
do that.
Yeah, they fire. They have cannons on them. What were you expecting?
I know, but
They
still.
are tanks. They are tanks, man.
It's a pretty
Whatever.
unfortunate fight, honestly. Usually they're grouped up a
Yeah.
lot better than that, and negative Gale hit them all, so I can just wind lance them to death, but
Yeah, that was sticking spread out.
they were really spread out.
That cost
Yeah.
And they did not jump. Come on,
And they didn't
tank!
jump at all. They're known for
one
jumping.
jumped, actually.
Oh, one
One
jumped.
jump.
Never mind.
Oh, we had a jump at the end? Okay, I missed it.
Yeah, the last one. But only one, which is actually fairly good.
A lot of times they'll all jump at the very start.
I know, when I
really?
always found it hilarious, because it's like, they move so slow, but for whatever reason, they jump like Mario. We're not done with lasers, though. The next
No, we're
boss,
Uh-oh.
he likes
boy.
his lasers too.
No, these lasers were just a warm up.
Yeah. Just warming up. The game's just warming up its lasers.
Honestly,
You're
I
getting a
hope
real-
it's the last lasers we see.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's
know-
what I would like, personally, but...
I know we
That's
kind of
true as
touched
well.
up on this earlier, but the next portion, the next dungeon coming up is the smooth jazz ship,
Yes.
as we've come to call it.
Yep.
It's the jazz ship, okay?
Oh.
You just ruined the whole joke.
No.
Wow.
It's not
Wow,
the joke
OC.
that matters. It's the delivery that matters, okay? It's the delivery of the joke.
But yeah, we call it the jazz ship because, well, it has a lot of jazz. The way this game splits up, spoiler, this is a world inside of a world, basically.
Never heard of that one in the Tales games before.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that actually a common thread too? I haven't played many other Tales games, honestly. So.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
shoot!
a
I
pretty
hit the
common
wrong.
one.
Yeah, Two Worlds in the Balance is definitely a Tales of trope that you see in a lot of games. Not all of them, but a good amount of them that it stands out.
I ate the wrong food.
Whoops.
You did it again?
I can fix this probably.
You can, yeah. I think you can. And,
Yeah, I can buy food at the other place. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the jazz ship with casually is a little bit labyrinthy your first time through because all the corridors look very similar and there's warping around. But if there is one piece of advice I can give to any person that's having trouble getting through there, it's turn left.
Yep. And if you can get through this part fast enough, you can get out of the hallways before the enemies show up.
Oh yeah, for whatever reason, like all the hallways are empty, and like you have a set period of time before enemies will actually start spawning in.
Yeah.
If your movement's just right, you can get through nearly the entire thing without any enemies being there.
Yep.
That was a ridiculous fast battle, I have to say.
That's when that fight goes correct.
Yep.
When you get one.
Unfortunately. Elise does have chicken run, but again, it's just preferable to not get into enemy encounters.
Yep.
5-second fight, I like it.
Yeah, definitely. That one was really good.
Yeah, that was a really good fight.
I'll just have to buy it before Musée. Probably the best time to do it. Ooh, these are actually nice and smart too.
Yeah, it's a good place to do it.
I'll take it. 5 and 7 second fights.
Yep.
That's ideal.
Wow, you're getting really good patterns right now. Nice.
Yep.
Jazz.
Yep, we got our jazz, so sit back and relax.
Yeah, it's actually one thing you'll probably notice casually. I don't know how many of you actually picked this up in your casually, but with the whole Two Worlds mechanic, they actually did a decent job with the musical score to really kind of like define the two. One, Rize Mexia, the world you start on in, is very much kind of like almost traditional Tales of music style, where it's very bombastic orchestra playing, and then you've got this other world which is very machinery and dark metal vibe, so they have this very jazz music style to go along with it,
which is nice. Breaks up the music a bit.
It does. It really creates a nice contrast.
Yeah, this holds true for the sequel to Xillia 2.
Does
where,
it?
Yeah,
Nice.
in Xillia 2, in fact, you play for the majority of the game in Olympus.
Rize Maxia.
You really
no.
don't do...
No, Rize Maxia is the inner one. Never mind, I'm bad.
Yeah,
Yeah. But you hear, because of that, in Xillia 2, you actually hear way more jazz than you do hear the traditional Tales music.
Yeah, so we're getting close to the end of Chapter 3 here. Yep, just one more boss fight, and hopefully it goes well for Freddeh. That's...
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, this boss fight can be a little trolly because he has just some really strong attacks that just cover the entire map. Particularly the laser. The laser's the most dangerous because he can one-shot your entire party if he aims it right.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he has he's linked up with another boss, Celsius. Some of you might be familiar with Celsius from other Tales games. Though he or she is really, really fast, but she's weak to fire, so she goes down fairly quickly, but...
She's the less dangerous of the two, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Other people disagree
Yeah.
with me, but
Yeah. All right, so
She's more dangerous because you're trying to hit her and she's just bouncing over the place like a hyperactive child.
she's annoying. But
yeah.
villain's usually
Yeah,
the one
the
that,
main
that
threat of
kills
her
me.
is actually interrupting you most of the time. That's her specialty. So you want to hope that she stays away from Rowan as much as possible.
Yep. So we destroyed the 2 generators or things, and we're making our way out of this hallway.
The enemy has
Yeah,
infiltrated
let's
the
see
plant
if he
center.
actually gets
We
up
need to
before enemies
reinforce the
show up.
plant side
I'm
defenses.
crossing my
We're sending
fingers here.
after that.
Made it to the
Send
last zone.
additional troops your way.
It's
It's
pretty.
looking good.
Yeah. Oh wait. Okay. So I'm just gonna wait until he climbs up, and then I'm gonna do it. So let me have my moment here, okay? All right. So that was a smooth jazz ship.
Oh boy.
Yes, it was.
Yes!
There's still
I
more?
did it!
How big is this stupid
Yeah!
You're wonderful, man. You're wonderful.
Where's my
Thank you.
glasses? Jude, you need your glasses. I need shades right now.
I do have shades with me. I could put them on, but you're not gonna see them.
That's one thing I really like about the accessories in this game is, for the most part, every accessory can be like moved around all over the body, so you can just like have the backpack over the face, for example.
Alright, let's see.
Oh,
Got
Already, Rip. Freddie, why? I believe.
we're okay. We're still okay, kind of ish. Oh, jeez, another one.
That's perfect.
Yeah, okay, now we're not. He did it twice in a row.
Wow.
Rip.
Wait, twice laser?
Oh my god. That's
Anyway, Laser of Doom.
yeah.
I usually like to get on opposite sides of him, but he wouldn't. He kept backing up at the start of the fight.
No, the laser!
Like, there's really nothing you can do about the lasers. Like, if you get hit by it, well, yeah,
No, it's just him doing it. It's literally.
yeah.
Half the map, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That yeah, because of that, there's really nothing you can do. That if you get hit by it, well, too bad. Game hates you.
Yeah, this is something I noticed you like to do as opposed to what I like to do. I typically go after Celsius first. Because once Celsius is gone and she goes down fairly quick, then the other guy can't really do a whole lot.
He can still laser.
Yeah.
First, she's gonna keep getting in my way up to her first.
Yeah, Celsius is currently blocking the fireballs, which is...
They're both gonna die about the same time, probably, at this point. Please?
Oh,
There we go.
Nice.
nice. And with that, Chapter 3 is coming to a close, so we're coming to the 4th and the final chapter of the game. Coming right up.
It's a good fight, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second one actually went pretty well.
And since I died so early on the first one, it didn't really matter. Or I didn't lose that much time. Actually, I gained time in my PB because I had a bad fight in my PB.
Yeah. So...
Leia is, yeah, casting sharpness a bunch. That's about it.
Catching sharpness and throwing the occasional life bottle.
Or rezzing, because she likes to do that.
Yep.
So, story happens. Franker Z is back.
Yep. Seems completely normal here.
All is right in the world.
Business as usual.
Yep.
I have my nice circle of censorship going.
Ah, yes. I forgot about that. How could I forget?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that just happens when your character dies, right? They
Yeah.
go full nude. It's like, why bother at this point? I'm dead.
I mean, there's hair, so.
I mean, it's convenient.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. But yeah, this place should look familiar, but
yeah. Also, do not worry about like if there's something wrong with the screen or anything. It's literally because of Milla's situation right now. They put this weird screen filter, so everything almost kind of looks greenish to it.
Yeah, that's the game. That's not you.
Yeah, it looks kind of strange looking at this while wearing sunglasses. I don't know why I'm wearing sunglasses, but I am. I'll probably take them off, but yeah, it's just a bunch of walking around, and eventually we have a pretty scary boss fight coming up. But yeah, so we just have to do some stuff, and yeah, just enjoy the music. You're going to be hearing it for a bit.
Yeah, I have to backtrack here because I went to Niakara again to get a waypoint set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I can teleport back there after walking, but now I have to walk all the way back to that first dock that we were at. So basically, all this area that we already had to run through, we have to run back through again.
Yeah, but it's still technically faster than what Jude has to do. Jude has, let's see, he has a fight with Alvin. Then he has to go all the way back to the first city, and then from the first city he has to climb the mountain that you eventually have to climb anyway. So, oh right, he has the boat where he has a boss battle with what's her face, crazy lady.
Agria again?
Agria.
Not Agria, the other crazy lady, the one that floats.
Muse?
Yeah, Muse. She has a.
That's right. You have to fight
Muse.
Muse.
Yeah, to fight Muse on the boat.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
And then at the top of the mountain, you have to fight Agria and Presea, I believe.
Agria Pressa, yeah, that sounds right.
Pressa. Blech. Can't talk tonight.
So the other big thing that I was cutting in earlier is, as mentioned in these split scenarios, you get free equipment upgrades. Now here's the thing, if you would play on Jude's side, you get only one free equipment upgrade, and that's for Milla. Which on the other side, for Milla's side, you get for everyone else. So the value in between is also pretty huge in the equipment upgrade, and they're actually not that bad.
Alright, I totally forgot about Ivor's fight too. Yeah, so that's a lot of bosses that you have to go through for Jude, as opposed to just running briskly free, feeling the breeze under everything as you run in the fields.
Yeah, there's a lot to do on Jude's side, so I think we can say at least 20 minutes longer.
Yeah, something like that.
It's more like 15.
Yeah, like casually, like you can get easily lost here just because the game doesn't exactly tell you where to go. It just says.
Yeah. In fact, Freddie, would you please show what we mean by instructions?
Wait, what am I instructing? What?
Like, hold R1. Just hold R1 when you're just running.
Oh, right, yeah.
What does the game tell us to do?
Literally, there are no... Yeah, this place you can get lost casually, easily. I know I did. Because it's not obvious that you have to go down here. It's just, you literally go wherever you want. Literally, that's what it says.
Yeah.
You're dead. It doesn't matter. Go wherever you want.
Yep.
Game's over. Congratulations.
You are free now.
What a pain. We could fly there in a heartbeat if we just tethered up.
If you're in that much of a hurry, Sylph, feel free to go ahead without us.
But at this point, we do get access to one of Milla's best spells in this game, and it's Undine. You're going to be hearing...
I think Undine would take offense to being called a spell.
Oh, that's actually true.
But to be fair, Undine is something you're going to be seeing Milla spam pretty much for the entire game now.
I mean, it's a pretty useful spell.
Yeah.
The only other one he's going to use that is Gnome, because there's actually, there's those 2 wolves at the very end of the game where using Gnome is just way faster. Oh, don't you guys worry. Muse's coming up, and we can all hate Muse's solo fight together.
Oh god,
I love Muse solo fight.
I loved it too as well.
Not casually, but
best.
I like the speedrun strat for
Even
the fight.
casually. I love one-on-one fight.
I hated the one-on-one fights casually. I hated the Ivor fight I got stuck at for so long.
Yeah, I'm having
Muse not
really
quite as much, but
I'm having really bad memories of the race from last year where Muse just trolled me incredibly hard.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh
I
god.
remember that.
The worst part I think I've ever had with Muse's solo fight is when she immediately started using Overlimit and used Sunburst, and I'm just like, well, that was fun. Let's try that again.
Ow!
yeah.
That hurts. I mean,
was a thing.
Sunburst itself is probably the most annoying spell in this game.
It is all-encompassing map, ground wide, and you can't block it. It's dumb. It's a really dumb spell.
You can magic block it.
Yeah.
And if you remember. Now that I know how to magic block, I can magic block.
I mean,
it.
yeah, gladly, for Magic Block you have enough time because the animation is super amazing long. But if it gets hit in unprotected, you are pretty much dead.
Because here's the thing, it's still, even with like using Magic Guard against Sunburst, it can still get burn status on you, and that sucks.
Indeed.
Okay, I need a small spicy chicken.
So we're getting right up to the Muse fight, and
Quick stop for the shop because I'm dumb, and then
yeah.
some more menuing.
Yeah.
So if any of you hated the Muse fight like me or anyone else, don't worry, Freddie's got your back. He's going to show you a quick and easy way to fight Muse each and every time.
Yep.
Every time. Works every time. Cough.
Easy every time.
Ooh.
Farewell.
Pretty good.
Yep.
I really wish you would do a charge instead of a frickin'... There we go.
So, really the thing is that you want to keep your TP up because you're going to be using Undine, and Undine uses a good amount of TP.
Yeah, it's like a 30 TP per
40,
Yeah.
yeah.
And, Muse can easily, like, combo you to death. Like, you are always several hits away from death. And, definitely want to make sure that you're not leaving yourself completely open.
Yeah, namely the one you're looking forward to, looking out for is the one where she kind of like does like air swipes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so around this point she may go into overlimit. Probably gonna happen, but we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna take a quick break here. Just died. Don't worry about it.
Oh! Hi.
Losing time.
Yeah.
But I don't want my controller to die, so... Okay. Controller won't die now.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, so as you can see, that's how quickly she can kill you.
Yeah, that was my fault. I wasn't paying attention to my mana. I was just a little short.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that, she knows every single highest tier spell, including Sunburst, Tornado, big boulder one. I forget the name of him.
I forgot. Oh, the boulders are worse. Like, with Sunburst, like, Milla thankfully has some good aerials, so if you do it right, you can jump and dodge, but the thing is, she can follow it up with other stuff, and,
Yeah, and the worst part is she goes into overlimit and casts a spell like Sunburst, which has, like, a long duration going on. She'll still stay in control after using it, so you've been trying to, like, avoid taking damage from the Sunburst, but she'll come up and waltz up to you and melee you to death. And there's just nothing you can do.
yeah.
What you want to dodge is elemental him. That is your mystic art trigger.
Yeah. And the way to really avoid it is just run close enough in circles around her.
Yeah, it takes actually quite a bit of practice to effectively dodge the elemental him, because it does have slight homing properties to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know that Eclipse does a different strat for this, but Freddeh, and what people usually do is that they spam Undine.
Yeah, Undine had the ability or the feature of her spell that she actually knocks the enemy a little bit back, so you get more distance for casting up the next Undine.
Yeah.
It's also got fairly decent range. The little knockback and hit stun is really convenient. Oh, and it's fast. Like, as opposed to every other of the summons, Undine is by far the fastest.
Yeah, and yeah, so Eclipse is another runner of Xillia, and he wrote us some really good notes for that's available in English, and that's pretty much what we use to learn the game.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, more or less. What I mean,
I
notes.
didn't.
Oh,
I had to
so,
actually go through the frickin' Japanese runs and make notes myself. That was
yeah,
definitely interesting when I did that.
Yeah, like how we learned the game. I mean, that's like another story.
Yeah.
That was quite the interesting thing. Like, I know for me,
definitely a while ago.
Yeah, like I know I learned through Eclipse's notes, and like so yeah, you said that you learned through the Japanese runs, and the Japanese runs are pretty crazy with how well they are done.
They are going ham, man. They are going ham.
Yeah.
Alright, but after we climb this mountain here, we're immediately gonna go right into the next boss fight where all our party members are reunited, and will have been caught up in levels to Milla, so there will be some leveling up with the typical 4 characters we've been using, and they'll have all that brand new shiny equipment, which is really nice.
Yep.
That said, the next boss fight can't control. Like, the Maxwell boss fight is without a doubt one of the more trollier ones that can kind of catch you off guard. It usually goes pretty well, but I think the worst is when he sunbursts back to back.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Maxwell has the mechanic to change his element, which he is strong and weak against, and his attacks also base on the element he currently has selected.
Yeah.
So fire is not the best you want to have because of Sunburst especially.
Yeah, and
because of the additional fire resistance he gains.
Yeah, and he always starts off as fire as well, so it's always just going to be not in your favor at the start. That said, though, ideally, wind or water is the best. Water, mostly just because the water would mean that Fireball does weakness damage, which is always really nice. And wind, just because he doesn't really do that much with wind.
I mean, the good thing about fire is that his counter attack is a melee-based attack. It doesn't have much range.
No, it really doesn't, but it just means the fight goes on a little bit longer, though.
Oh, then we got wind. Back to back,
Oh yeah, something you might notice now, for whatever reason, when you get whenever you get overclocked for Rowan, it feels like his homing properties on the fireballs get a little bit better. Uh-oh.
Res. I didn't want to kill Maxwell with Milla did because of aforementioned bad things happening.
Yeah.
Not a bad fight, actually. I'll take it.
Yeah,
And
like,
also levels, all the levels.
It's
8 million levels.
really you.
Yeah, he's also notorious to...
Nice.
How many times have you seen a single mystic art from Maxwell?
I don't like to think about it personally.
yeah.
A lot. Let's go with a lot.
Yeah, all things considered, that was a really good fight.
Did I mention that his mystic art has a chance to inflict burn?
Yeah, pretty much it has a chance to insta-wipe you. Like, that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah, you guys read that. It was like I think that was 100,000 experience points from that one battle, so...
Yep.
You look really great, Rowan.
So,
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You go first.
we're not at all concerned about levels anymore at this point.
No, after that boost,
This
not
city's
really.
made of
You are
stone
pretty
and
much
metal.
said and
This
done
is the Olympian city of
for
Triumph.
the rest of the run.
Welcome, visitors
Yeah.
from
We
Riza,
don't
Mexico.
really have much of the run left, do we?
No, we're getting really close to
Agreed.
the end. We're at the we're in pretty much the final stretch. We're in the other world. We're in the town of Olympios, I believe it's called. And
So this is the world that
let's
Maxwell
see,
cut
we've
off
got
and left to
a couple more
Yeah.
boss fights
die. I can't help
before we
to
get.
save it.
Yeah, I believe we just got one boss fight before we get to the actual final dungeon, and that's against Volt.
Yep. He's kind of a pushover.
Volt's not a very hard fight. Once you beat Maxwell and you get that huge experience points boost, Volt goes down pretty fast.
Or
That
the
said,
sheep.
Volt... Whatever.
Sorry,
You
go
can't
ahead.
really tell with Volt. Just a giant ball.
Actually, I can say, try to remember how easy Volt is right now. Because you're gonna see him again.
That's right, Xillia too.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of polar opposites, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw how much he likes
He is a
Volt.
He is a gatekeeper there.
Yeah. Well, I can see where Volt in that game could be a lot more difficult. Here we just got we're really overpowered. We have some really convenient long range spells, and the fact that Volt likes to just bounce around all over the place.
Oh, yeah, there's that, too.
Volt's fine. Don't worry about it, guys. Oh, I'll let you guys see the easy version of him first. Or her. It. Volt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a dreary
And,
landscape.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure we're hurting his feelings, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, so we really don't spend much time in this world anyway. So, like, if you want to
No,
see
it-
more of it, stick around for Xillia, too.
Yeah, honestly, the world that we're in right now is really just a few
It's like
areas.
5
It's not very
zones
big.
total. Maybe
Yeah,
6 if there's a
Yeah.
side zone, I don't know.
I mean,
it's really small.
yeah, of note, I mean, there is an optional post-game dungeon? Post-game? You wouldn't call it that, but we won't be going there, of course.
I actually
Don't worry,
don't
guys.
remember the
Milla
whole
found her
thing, though.
clothes.
That she did.
Yeah. But yeah, like, kind of, I mean, you could argue that the game felt kind of incomplete in some ways, just because, this game was originally released in Japan in 2011 as part of the, I believe, the 15th anniversary of the series. It felt like they wanted to get it out in
I
time.
can't believe the size of this facility.
And that's entirely
Everything in
possible,
Olympus
and
is
for the
so
most part, I think they did all right.
It's
There's
like a city in
definitely
and of
some things
itself.
that could have been polished up or added some things in.
But,
But that's just the nature with game developers out there that are being rushed for like a anniversary. I mean, look at freaking Sonic's 15th year anniversary and Sonic 06. That's one of the most disastrous cases.
Yeah, and all things considered, like Xillia 1 is still a really good game, and definitely recommend playing it if you haven't. Yeah, like... Yeah, there's a lot of... Sorry.
Hey, Freddie, keep an eye out to see if we get the two machines, you know, doing it. You know what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about. I never really thought about it that way, though.
Oh, man.
I know what you're thinking about, dirty person. These two machines, for whatever reason, they just look like they're just stuck in the worst way possible.
Yeah. So it looks like the enemies are pretty much avoiding us, so that means Holy Bottle is doing his job.
Nope, there's a wolf.
Okay, wolf, okay. It's, okay, so, the wolf, so... Yeah, wolves are annoying in this game.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Yeah, that's kind yeah, so...
Ow. Oh, rude. Random encounter number 5 or 6, something like that.
I lost count.
We're counting on
Yeah,
you.
quite a
those
few.
early game encounters I actually didn't count.
5 or 6 sounds about right, yeah.
Get off
Yeah.
me. You can't hide there.
To be fair, it's really hard to not get an encounter in these cramped hallways.
Oh yeah, they're problematic. Definitely. In Xillia 2 it's the same. And you don't have holy boxes there at all at this point.
Is Helioborg in Xillia 2?
Wait, what?
Is Helioborg in Xillia 2 as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
that's exactly where you go fight.
It's like Xillia just died, or the Twitch just died for a second there.
No, it's
I'm just gonna keep playing and hope that everything's fine.
Yeah, it's the best you can do probably.
yeah.
Okay, on my side we're back.
I'm just gonna keep playing and hope that everything's fine.
Yeah, it's the best you can do probably.
Yeah.
Okay, on my side we're back.
Where Balin found us was just past Helioborg Fortress.
It's definitely Twitch's end. I'm not dropping any frames,
We'll find
so.
a clue that will help us get back.
Yeah, so a lot of cutscenes we're skipping, and last part of the game.
Yep, because, you know, it's
Look,
the
something
typical
green for
Tales
once.
moments where
Yeah.
it's like,
I
well,
wouldn't
we're about
expect
to
to
go
see a
into the
big
final
forest
dungeon,
anytime
we should have a
soon.
breakdown. Like, guys, real talk for a moment.
Hey, we're back, I think, kind of.
Yep,
A
we're
little bit
back.
behind, but we're back.
Yeah.
Saying we're back kills the stream. Rip.
Whoa.
Wow, guys, it's actually no. Freddie's just about done. We're literally going to see world record right now.
Yeah, no.
World Recce.
Game over.
Trust. Yeah. So if the stream just goes down, just trust us and say we just got world record. Okay, cool. Bye.
Easy peasy every time.
Hey, it looks like
You're
close to
up
where I'm
for
at now
what?
this time. Evolution on that level's reserved for
I don't
Pokemon and
particularly
Digimon.
enjoy having to
Well
fight,
played,
but
sir.
I am
Well
starting
played.
to feel a little useless right now.
To be fair, Pokemon probably gets it close to right as possible with at least some genetics. Digimon just doesn't make no fucking sense.
Okay, I'm gonna restock on some supplies here because I'm out of stuff. And it's a marathon run,
I
so
don't
may as well.
understand.
PB is long gone.
Yep. But we're still way under estimate.
Yeah, well, what was your best best time when you were actually doing a marathon run? I think it was the Limit Break run.
That was a co-op run, so... for... What have I done marathon? I've done a race or two.
To be fair, when
Probably
you're
last
working with
year's Tales
PX doing
marathon
his
race.
shenanigans, you could consider it a handicap.
I'm pretty sure that was my last... That was my PV, was the last marathon run. I don't remember what my time was, though. It's probably be fairly similar to this one, honestly.
That's one thing I will never bash another Tales game for. Or at least if you like a game in this the series that I don't, good for you. You find fun in it where I didn't. Good job. Because God forbid, people have different tastes and opinions, right?
Yeah.
They sure do. And that's
Yep.
good.
Yep. Opinions, what are they?
Just like how there's people that look forward to the grinds in FF12 and the people that don't.
Huh? What? There's no grinding yet, so don't worry about it.
Grinding. Actually, my most favorite hobby in games. That's so relaxing.
Well,
Put on a good
I think-
movie, grind a bit. Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it depends for me, because I'm one of those people that tries to figure out what is optimal in grinding, you know?
Also true. Also true.
So I got an
Oh.
Mega Elixir here, which is exactly as it sounds like. Where am I?
We get some good items here,
Yeah, in fact,
as well as some awesome music.
True, I like the music here.
Yep. So final dungeon time.
yeah, in fact, some of the items in the final dungeon
Oops, I
are
did that.
downright broken. Literally, he's gonna get 2 Omega Elixirs, which is full party, full revives, full heals, everything.
It's better than Mega Elixirs. Depending on the game, but... And I actually do have to level up Jude again here, because he is going to be forced to be used in a fight. Or 2 fights. Including the last fight.
Yeah. This is also another point where actually the 2 stories differ again. In the second to last boss fight with Milla, you fight Muse. With Jude, you fight Caius. And let me tell you, Caius is infinitely harder.
Oh yes. Oh yes, he is.
Part of the reason why
But
Caius
also
is
the most
harder
fun.
too is because Muse actually has an elemental weakness you can take advantage with Jude and Milla. You're gonna see Freddeh actually show up particularly 2 arts, Link arts in particular, that are really good against Muse.
Place, but that's okay.
Okay, first we got one more fight with Wingle, though.
Which at this point is actually a fairly easy fight compared to the previous ones.
You can still spam Mystic Arts and be really annoying, but yeah.
He can be, yeah. Can happen. But you're more likely to survive than...
It helps that he's just by himself. Something that actually kind of surprised me back when I played this casually too was I was expecting like that do like a full Chimera fight with, you know, Wingle, Pressa, Agria, and Zhao all in the same fight, but that never happened. I believe it happens in Xillia too, though.
I think it's part of a side story, yeah, where you actually fight all 4.
Yeah, that's actually a really hard fight.
Main story. Yeah, that's also a fight.
Yeah, word of warning to those who have never played Xillia 2, it's a dark game.
Yeah. Oh, it
Oh,
definitely
he
is.
died to burns. Nice.
Definitely the darkest game in the Tales. Well,
It's dark, but I think Berseria is slightly darker. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a different tone, though.
yeah,
The
definitely.
tone of the game is different, yeah. They're both on the pretty dark side, but on a different approach.
Yeah, one's more about choices and sacrifice and, you know, the kind of like, what do you consider is worth doing, the good over the many, that kind of thing. Those kinds of choices. Berseria is more revenge. I'm going to do whatever I have to do in order to get my revenge. That's Berseria.
Revenge. I like a good revenge story. Also, I
Oh,
need
and
to see John
Berseria is
Wick
a really
2.
good revenge story.
Just remember, I need to see John Wick 2 still. Yep, this was for fun, guys.
Yep, no donations required. Though, if you are interested in donating, come back in a couple months when RPG Limit Break 2017 will be taken off. Then that'll be a great time to donate.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Oh yeah, you can also subscribe to the channel for some pretty cool emotes. You can do that too.
I was unlucky.
can withstand against my resolve.
And Gnome has a funny animation where he spins the enemy around because he's circling around Milla, which looks actually pretty fun and cool. I love it.
That.
That's probably one of the only times to see Gnome, actually.
Phoenix Plunge. Let me up. That's what that was. Okay, so now we have our another, well, not quite solo fight, but duo fight with Muse. We are much stronger, and we can take advantage of her weakness to light, with a couple of abilities from Jude and Milla.
Yeah, that's not to say she's totally harmless. She's still Muse. She still does Muse things that we don't like.
I don't understand. Why are you always treated differently?
That's pretty bad.
Why is it always you?
Well, it's okay.
The music's special ability is that she can walk around.
I'll rip you apart.
Yeah.
It lets her able to be dodging a lot of stuff.
Oh, that's bad.
So it can happen that linked art or an attack actually misses her because she is dodging it by walking away.
Yeah. On top of that, Muse can go into overlimit, which can cause some problems.
Not the best fight, but yeah. Talking about overlimit, you'll see that in a second.
Ouch. Yeah. When she goes into overlimit and she starts spamming the elemental. Yep.
Alright, so...
Wrong step and it's all over.
True.
Final boss. Final boss
At this
music coming up.
Yep.
I
Yep.
actually love this song. It's
Me
so
too.
It's good music, I agree.
It is a really good track. Yeah,
The other thing I'll say is that unlike this is also pretty different for a final boss encounter too. You go into starting the fight with only just Milla and Jude, but as the fight progresses, the rest of the party joins in.
Oh yeah, that's also really good. Really good. What's the word I'm looking for?
Final boss
It's
time.
like,
So right
it
from
has
the
a
get
good-
okay, right from the get-go, the one thing we're hoping that joins the party as soon as possible. We're looking for Rowan, Elise, and that's it. We really don't need anybody else at this point. That said, when Alvin joins the party, we'll immediately switch him out because Alvin has been neglected this entire time. In fact, we kind of make a joke about it as we try to beat the boss before Alvin shows up. It never ever happens, but we can dream.
Oh. Damn it, Roman.
Now, shall we begin?
And of course, every time a new party member ends up showing up to fight, they also come in and start performing a mystic art.
And interrupt whatever you were doing.
We were waiting for you. I must say, it feels good when others rely upon you. Truly amazing. Of all people, I expected you to at least follow the right path. You expected too much from me. I am no different from everyone else here. So be it. Your age won't matter when I strike you down. I plan to see the future. I hate to break it.
But
Getting
to make-
rid of Muse is really important in this fight.
Yeah, she's also when you first kill Muse as well, she also comes back. She like revives briefly. You want to immediately start focusing her down again after she revives as well, because there's a chance she can get healed.
Yeah, whenever Muse is blocking and you attack her while she's defending, she actually gets healed. By quite the amount, so she alone can prolong the fight
Oh, come on.
fairly heavily.
We really do. But I finally found my own reasons to live, and I don't want to lose these feelings. That's enough from you.
I'll rip you apart.
That's one.
Alvin, please. Alvin ruining everything every time.
Alvin ruined the fight.
Who's next? Hey,
Yep.
did I keep you waiting?
You sure did.
How typical Alvin.
Pleasant greetings.
Oh.
Why do you go inside? Don't you see that
We have a theory as to what causes the order of people joining in.
It's not a theory. It's based off of how much Milla, well, Jude if you're doing Jude's side, but Milla in this is linked with a character. The longer she's linked with a character, or she's basically, people come in the order of which the length of the time they've been linked with Milla over the course of the game.
Oh, I saw that deal.
Sorry, I'm
I actually had no idea that that affected the order.
never gonna stop.
Yep, no, that's how it's figured.
Thought it is fixed.
Now we can use your help.
Oh, come on.
You know very well the instability of Spyrite.
It's simple.
This is going from a good fight to a bad fight really fast.
What matters to me is being here with
Really?
everyone.
Damn it, Leia! All those fireballs missed because of you.
This is true power.
Wait, what? How did I get confused?
Huh.
Oh, because Muse's taunt has a chance to conflict confuse.
No, I did not know that.
I did not know that either, actually. It's okay, I have Mega Elixirs.
I can't go on.
Well, at
Yeah.
least he stays down. So.
And she'll spam it a lot. It actually has a really high chance for inflict confusion, so it's really bad when it happens.
And time.
Fairly low.
Someone want to tell him
Although-
Gareth time, please?
Times.
Already told him.
Victory's ours.
We did it!
Alright.
Yes, it's finally over.
Well, only 10 minutes slower than my PB, I'll take it. So yeah, that was Tales of Xillia. We'll watch the, we're way ahead of schedule now, so
Yep. And,
we'll
really ahead.
take this time to watch at least part of the ending, until the
and
next
I-
person's ready. I
And
guess Soul's
the
here, so he
move.
should be ready.
Yep. I'm gonna hop off now. So
Thank you for commenting, guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
it
not a
was a
problem.
good time.
yep. See you around.
Have a good night, man.
Thanks to be able to join.
Yeah, I gotta go make dinner or else I'm gonna get yelled at because I'm not making dinner.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Have it good, you two.
Your vision of the future offers nothing but suffering to the people, whether spy rights are perfected or not. Even if we unite the two worlds, it is pure fantasy to think that they will cooperate with one another.
Just play poker for a while, we'll be fine. No problem.
Maybe my dreams for the future are hopelessly naive.
So I hope everyone enjoyed.
Still,
Even though we have a couple of hiccups with the thing, with the stream.
You guys didn't.
And the run in general went pretty well,
What
I'd
does
say.
any of that matter now?
Like,
For the most part,
I'm happy with
yeah.
a sub 225 or 325 for a marathon run.
But I was scared witless throughout this entire journey. I'm still just a small, frail human. But you know what? I will get stronger.
I should have left the end longer to let you see
I want you
Jude's
to believe
glasses.
in me.
You have to admire Jude's glasses, really.
Humans strive to become stronger.
We actually didn't saw them a lot. That's actually true now that you mention
They
it.
rise to
Yeah, Jude's not usually one I like to put it on, but hey,
for the future,
always have a good
one that
choice.
is filled with possibilities.
Yep. Chat decided.
I know you understand this, Gaius.
Chat is always right.
Chad is always
I do
right.
not.
That is fair.
When all of these possibilities of yours evaporate, I will then be forced to rise again.
Aw, Jude.
You won't have to do anything.
Music. If living alone is too painful for you, then come join us.
Thank you.
I see that you have made up your mind.
Yes.
Milla.
What are you talking about?
The feels, guys, the feels.
I have decided to become Maxwell.
So that was your plan. Now, if you so desire, Milla, you may use the schism's mana to become human again. I see.
By the way, if we want to get going on the next game, just let me know, Gareth. I guess I should post it here.
Wait!
Jude, I'm afraid this is farewell. Our fates were always intertwined in mysterious ways. Thank you for everything.
Hold on! I'm sorry for all the times I was weak. But now, I think I'm going to be just fine.